We're at the edge of the verse, past the dead zone, beyond the last maw in the sector, and one of the thousands of disreputable dives scattered through the expanse. Mercs, corpos, smugglers, fixers, and political powers are all looking to make a deal. And someone's about to be in way over their head. Act 1. The usual suspects.
Welcome everyone to DieFall Presents Conspiracy in the Stars. This is episode 2. It is a Dark Matter Dungeons and Dragons game. You might be saying, what is Dark Matter? Well, Dark Matter is a game where you take 5e Dungeons and Dragons and you put it in space. And everything's it's space stuff. It is made by Mage Press, who are lovingly giving us some sponsorship for this. And we have taken their little baby and we're making well, it's a good time. So far we've got soups and concerts and amoebas and gangsters and squirrels falling from ceilings. So we're doing really good. We're doing really good so far. But yes, so thank you very much to Mage Press for supporting us and sponsoring this stream. You can head on over to their new Kickstarter, which is linked right there in the chat. And you can support us and them by taking a look at their new starter set for this. If you ever wondered how you would put Dungeons and Dragons in space, you use the starter set. Makes it real easy. Makes it very, very easy. Yes, general chaos and fun. Again, my cast with me this week, and we'll do another round of introduction because it is only the second episode, so maybe you guys don't entirely remember, and we'll go all the way around again. Zombie Kills, please introduce yourself and who you are playing this evening, and anything else you want to say on this fine evening, afternoon, wherever you are.
Hey guys, I'm Zombie Kills. I'm a content creator here on Twitch. I'm basically playing Alara Arapel, who has the same energy as me, which is big, black, and chaotic.
It's good. Thank you very much. Okay, Marcel, please introduce yourself as you are a floating head in space right now.
I am. I'm wearing the perfect yellow shirt that has me floating in space right now. But I'm also MD14, a variety streamer here on Twitch, and yeah, happy to be here, of course.
Excellent. Thank you. Miss Stella, please introduce yourself.
Hello. I'm Stella Luna. I'm a variety streamer here on Twitch, and today I will be playing Clover.
And Nola, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Anola Leone. I am a content creator here on Twitch, and I am playing Grim Silence.
Yes, tech wizard / somersaulter over
Super cool
tables and really smooth and suave, and really got in there with probably the most dangerous group rather quickly. Yeah. But that being said, normally I do this, and we'll see if you can always opt out if you're uncomfortable with it, but I have everyone roll a d20 in our Roll20 game, so it's /r space 1d20. And then I will also roll a d20. And whoever is closest to my particular roll will recap last week's happenings in their character persona. Now, don't worry about forgetting things. It's absolutely okay. I will fill in blanks if there are any, or if we don't remember them, well, maybe they aren't canon anymore. It's fine. And yeah, but from your perspective as your character, what happened in the last session? So I will pull that up now so I can see all of the things, and so chat can see the rolls as well.
I missed the count. What was it? Sorry, /R.
Yeah. /R space 1d20.
The space
And
was
Zombie,
the space was the trick.
Down below the little chat box where you type in, can you hit that drop down menu and put it to your character name? That's for Zombie there. The natural one for Leonardo. Poor guy. Okay, we're starting off
The one who
strong
didn't get
here.
the right command gets the one.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah, there it is.
I did the wrong dice.
No. D20 works.
Okay.
You got it. Yep. One just specifies how many. It just assumes one if you only put without a number.
Okay, do it.
Regardless, I rolled an 8. Grim has also rolled an 8. So from the perspective of Grim, Enola, please, would you give us a brief recap on what happened last week?
Okay, so here's what happened last week. Last week, we all came together, not really knowing each other. Right now, we're in this amazing space bar. I don't remember what it's called, but I definitely ate some soup with this group, probably gangsters. Some of them work for a bank. And then I talked to a few different characters. The professor's here. We're all here to protect him. And we were just playing some cards when this rat fell out of the roof. And I went and I caught it in my hands. From what I saw, Clover bonked Sheridan over the head. That's another guy that was playing cards at the table with this elven lady who looked really rich, like she didn't care. And then I don't really know what else happened from there, because that's my perspective.
There you go. You nailed it. There were a lot of Stella mentioned this when we jumped in the car. There was a lot of proper nouns last week, so don't be afraid of if you've forgotten any of the NPC names, because don't worry, I forgot their voices already, so we're gonna figure that all out together.
There's 12 of them.
All
12
I
Yeah,
remember
there's
is
12.
Ember. So
There's
that's all I
12.
remember.
Hey, you know what? At least you remember Ember. That's
Yeah,
great.
Yeah.
So yeah, we met a lot of NPCs. We have the Flopwig twins, which are the two halflings that seemingly work for the Galactic Bank, which has some shady business that you guys were able to discern last week as well. There is
I only remember
Darkstar. Do what?
I only remember Kenny.
Kenny and Kiri. Yeah, Kenny's the nervous one. Kiri's the overbearing sister who is
He
like
made the
vice
biggest
president of
impression
the
on
bank.
me.
Yeah, good. Darkstar is another halfling that was over there sitting with the other bank members. And there was some knowledge that Grim had about who Darkstar was, as well as Clover picked up from talking to, oh my God, Bird Boy. Jesus, what is it? Sir Helio, Horus, about him being a former member, oh my gosh, a former assassin. And now he's here apparently with some bank members, which is interesting. Tiberius Vinter was their hired guard and supposedly the best fighter in all of the verse. Ember, the Amoeboid, is just kind of a fanboid. I guess that's what you would call them for the professor.
Who has a really unique collection of certain weapons, yes.
Yes, a really unique collection of old orcish grenades. Which may or may not be working, so we'll have to find out if that matters. Captain Lysandra, the Nautilid, the one in the large suit that Alara did have a conversation with, was also there. Cerdin Blackforge, the older dwarf shipwright who you guys played cards with, and who Clover bonked over the head with their mace/rolling pin.
He had a gun. It went off.
He did have a gun. He did shoot in the general direction of a friend. Hey, I'm not gonna argue with it, you know? Some perception rolls were made. High Oracle Thessalia, a pink mohawked, well-dressed high elf sitting at the bar that Leonardo had some conversation with as well. Sir Helio Horus, the DM is he hot bird from Clover, who you guys had a couple of conversations with as well. He seems to be the de facto leader of this port, as well as the like head of security here as well. Gosh, who am I missing now?
I think
Dark Surd and
got it.
the professor. Oh my God, Professor
yeah.
Orin Talfo Gogglefogger. I forgot. and his assistants, Tim and Tab. Yes, I had forgotten about them. And then, there's a couple of bartenders in the back that we are remaining unnamed. And there is one more. Her name is... she's the one in the red dress. Oh, my God. Carmen Kane. That's right. Dr. Carmen Kane, the brain surgeon. Yeah, she's a doctor. Dr. Carmen Kane, who was raking Certain over the coals when it came to cards and taking every last little bit of everything he owned from him. So, that all being said, for a recap, we find ourselves with our party having just been playing some cards with Certain and Dr. Kane, where a Thwirl fell out of the ceiling holding some kind of computer component in their mouth. A Thwirl is a space squirrel. There's a lot more to it than that, but they're a space squirrel, okay? We'll figure out more as we go along this evening, probably. After a quick initiative and a gun going off, Certain aiming down at some friends and potentially maybe even the professor, who's to say at this point, the Thwirl was caught, and we find ourselves with grim silence holding a space squirrel, Clover standing over the crumpled form of Certain the shipwright, and Leonardo, blade drawn, laser sword out, defending his charge, the professor, as well as Grim, and the entire room is silent. What do you guys want to do from here?
I have one quick question.
Absolutely.
Is Clover, still drunk?
Clover, I don't think Clover ever got drunk.
She drank like three drinks.
Mm-hmm. She drank 3 drinks and rolled Constitution saves for all of them.
Oh,
as far as I remember.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought she got drunk.
So she's feeling tipsy, like for sure. You're feeling the alcohol, because there's no way you keep it away for too long, but you're not. Clover's not drunk. They're not like bumbling or anything. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, after it's like kind of quiet for a moment and everyone's out there and the laser sword's out and kind of humming and you're holding this Thwirl and Certain's on the ground and everyone's just standing there and it's like, and people kind of just go back to talking and waiting for the professor. And the professor looks just like, oh my goodness, what just happened?
I don't know what it is, but I got it.
What? Just like holding, are you just holding it up?
Or? I'm holding it, yeah.
Yeah, just like, yeah, because it's definitely trying to still get away from you.
Wrangle it by the neck, it's squirming, and I want to pull this circuit board thing out of its mouth.
Okay, well, you've got it grappled, so make me an athletics check with advantage against this Thwirl. You don't have to roll very high, but I just want to see if you can wrench that thing out.
Oh, man. Ooh.
A 17. Yeah. You're able to wrest this, like, circuitry wiring board from the space squirrel's mouth, but it's, like, still there, and it's definitely wants out of your hand as immediately as possible. It's going to start biting you if you aren't quick to, like, do something about this.
Can I bonk it on the head?
Yes, you can. You have it grappled again. You just want to try and knock out this squirrel?
I just want to knock it out, and then we'll examine the situation.
Let's see if we can't knock out a squirrel. I mean, it's in your hands. I don't think there's anything to be said about this. Yeah, you can knock out a squirrel. How well do you know how much damage squirrels can take before knockout becomes dead squirrel?
I was about to say, like, what kind of examining would be doing after this bonk? Like, a dead squirrel, or like?
I hope the situation is examined and maybe not a dead squirrel.
Okay, so my assumption right now is, and I'm just going to say this out loud to the room, my assumption right now is that this thing, because it looks a lot like that thing Alara has, maybe it's somebody's familiar and it's trying to kill the professor. So obviously that's why I scooped it up.
Okay.
That's the whole reason I ran across the room.
That's the internal thing. Did Grim see Alara use the familiar? Does Grim know about Alara's familiar?
I was at the table. So
you were at the table.
That I did. If
They
I'm
are
remembering wrong, I apologize.
effectively invisible when stationary.
Okay.
We
so I would have had
we
to
had
see it
Alara-
versus just knowing her.
Unless, and this is up for Alara. Alara, did you tell your compatriots in this guard duty that you have a Thwirl companion? You're muted.
Not yet. I'm super secretive and I don't trust anybody yet.
Okay. So never mind. This is just my assumption based on it was running his way.
That's fine. Yeah. I mean, it's got some weird circuitry in its mouth. It totally makes sense.
Yeah, I
when
don't
you
know what
picked it
that's
up.
for. Maybe it's sabotage.
No. So my question for you is, I want you to make me a nature check to see how much you know about Thwirl anatomy
Probably not
to
much.
make sure that you can knock this thing out rather than kill it.
Thwirl anatomy.
Yeah. I mean, they're not the same. Maybe they have like 14 hearts or something. They're not actually
is this also
squirrels.
with advantage? in
No,
my
because
hands?
this is your basic knowledge of
Okay.
just the nature of Thwirls. A 15. Yeah, that's really good. That's well above average knowledge of Thwirl anatomy. I'm pretty impressed by that. So, Grim, you're able to effectively knock out this Thwirl. You know that you maybe have about 5 minutes before this thing comes to and is, back to normal. You should probably find a box of some kind if you're really looking to hold on to it. Or your pack or something. You've got a bag somewhere you can make use of. But right now,
I'll just put it in my bag. We'll
okay,
save it
yeah,
for
you've got like
later.
a pouch or something. You're gonna like put it in. So now you got a Thwirl in a pouch.
Yeah. Do I have any rope? Can I tie its
Oh yeah, you've absolutely got rope.
hands together? Okay.
Well, you're gonna need like twine. They're very small. I don't know if rope is maybe the right choice, but you can cinch your
Nice.
bag closed.
Okay, I'm gonna cinch it closed. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you cinch your little pack closed. There's a knocked out Thwirl in there. Now what?
I think I'm gonna yell over at Clover. I'm just gonna. Oh, I forgot. I can just yell at her. Clover, what are you doing?
I think,
I see her bonk the dude on the head.
yeah, after Clover has bonked the dude and like the silence has passed and everyone's kind of going back to their own thing, Clover's like bending down over the guy and like gently petting his head where she hit him. She's like cooing and saying, "Oh, I am so sorry. You'll be fine. This will be okay." And then as soon as you say her name, she just snaps up and she scurries over to you. Did you need help? Are you okay?
I'm fine. I don't have a scratch on me.
Oh, that's good. I was really worried.
And how's the
Leonardo?
professor doing?
The professor is just looking up and at you guys and is observing you. Leonardo, do you still have your blade out? Is it still like humming with its
Yeah, it's
energy?
still humming
Okay.
away. Batteries draining away. It's fine. No
Yeah,
worries.
I think you got... Leonardo, I think you might be able to turn that off now. It seems the incident has been resolved.
all right, Professor. If you say so, I'll just like put it down and everything.
Yeah. And he's like, what happened? He looks over at Grim and Clover, who are conversing now.
Can I walk over to him and just talk directly to
Yeah,
him?
you're
without the bar
you're
hearing
right
me?
next to the
Okay, so
the
here's
table
what's
that they're
going
sitting
on.
at. Mm-hmm.
We think that there's an assassin here. You know that. So,
Yes.
I thought it could have been this weird rat creature. Because I thought it looked like a rat when it fell out of the ceiling. So it's in my pouch now. So I think crisis averted. Everyone probably
good.
knows that something's going on, though. So we might need to deal with that.
Right. Okay. Well, that's what I've kind of hired you for. I was.
Cover blown,
Oh.
probably.
Well, that's honestly, that's okay. Maybe it'll be more intimidating for the assassin to not do anything if they know that there are 4 capable guards around, one of which who put down a rather hard-headed dwarf pretty quickly, and another one nimble enough to snatch a Thwirl before it could escape. Trying to see the positive side of things here.
So when are we gonna do this presentation?
When? Rather soon, actually, but it seems like Sir Helio might want to speak to you. And if you
the
turn
bird.
around, you see Sir Helio Horus is like checking Cerdan's pulse on the ground, and like shakes his head a little bit, and he looks up to Carmen, and he says something to Carmen under his breath, and Carmen looks up over at you, and you know that she has like a rather large like drink stain on her dress now, and she gives a small smile over to Clover, and he's like, "Well, honey, I guess you did the job, though I'm not sure he was aiming at your friends, and more than likely that little thwirl that your other friend there caught on. I'm gonna excuse myself for a moment and go change. Hopefully I'll be back before the professor's presentation. Excuse me."
You see Clover's like head leaves just kind of come down and cover her eyes.
Mm-hmm.
What's she gonna do? Go change in the bathroom? This is a
know,
bar, not a hotel.
You know that she leaves the bar.
Okay, that's suspicious, in my opinion.
Yeah, so Cernan is still on the crowd. Sir Helio's over him. He looks over at Clover and the group and says, "Well, I guess I'll put him in the back. Maybe call a detail to collect him. You must be rather strong to have put him down so quickly. That was impressive. Suppose the professors picked the right Clover for the job."
You see Clover's like greenish blue skin just turn like this deep bluish purple as she blushes. She just kind of looks like helplessly over to Grim, not sure what to say.
It'll be okay, honey.
Well, let's see. Professor looks all right. Professor? It's like, "Oh, yes, we're fine. I'm almost ready. Just a couple more preparations, and then we'll probably get the whole thing going. Just a moment, please." Sir Helio backs up. "Well, seems like everything might be okay. I'm gonna go put him in the back. Seems that you lot might need to prepare for this presentation then."
I'm pretty tempted to follow Carmen. But I don't think you want me to leave the bar, so I won't.
Are you... Is that in character or out of character?
That's in character, sorry. And I'm talking to the professor.
Are you talking to... You're talking to the professor?
Yeah.
Okay. The professor's like, "Well, Dr. Carmen is quite renowned, and I honestly don't suspect her of anything. I would prefer that to protect me and my safety, you stuck around here?"
You'll be fine,
Okay.
Professor, really. You have us after all. And you see what Clover is capable of. Sorry, Clover is capable of.
"Yes. Quite adept with that club? Rolling pin? Not quite sure what that is. Do you really think that Dr. Kane is as suspicious as that we should... I don't know." And you note that his eyes dart across the room to where Darkstar is, and the two bankers, and the large half-orc carrying very large gun are standing and sitting across the room.
It's a toss-up, honestly. I just wanted to see what she was doing.
Well, I'm sure you'll be able to catch up with her after the presentation?
Sure.
Okay. Well, I'm going to get everyone together here, and well, the stage is set, and hold on, please. And he gets up and he grabs his notes and his pads and his things, and he's like wearing this weird contraption on his back, and he shuffles up onto this stage, and he's everyone, I will be starting the presentation shortly as soon as I get everything set up here. So please, if you would, take your seats. And we will begin in just a moment. So that being said, I'm going to do a thing so you guys have a little bit more representation of what's going on in this room right now. So you should see a map pull up right now, and you'll see everyone arranged somewhat around the room here. You guys are at just a table. You would have been more over at the gaming table over here. Please let me know if you cannot see the map, and I will adjust things accordingly. Chat, I've brought it up for you so you can see.
DM, I
back
have
at
a
the
question.
Yes,
What
Clover.
didn't our dear friend try to put a poison
Yeah.
drink?
I mean, why are we focusing on the past?
Oh my
She's at the
god.
bar.
We left in the
so-
cliffhanger.
She's with the Oracle.
I was warning the whole time what's going on with that.
I was like,
I'm waiting the whole time.
Me
Your
too.
your DM forgot that was a thing that had happened, and I love that Alara has not spoken up at all this entire time, trying to
Listen.
sweep that bad boy under the rug.
Listen, I was just, I'm just trying to make it, okay?
I mean,
Clover.
Oracle said, "Oh,
I'm sorry.
honey, I see all things," and that was where we.
Yep, that's
that-
right.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Cliffhanger. I was like, all right, here we go. What's gonna happen
Okay.
next?
Sure. While all of this has been happening, I believe Alara and one.
Oh god.
Yeah. Yeah. One High Oracle Thessalia are at the corner of the bar. I'm not gonna move your tokens or anything there. I've just got us back up on the big screen for everyone else. And is looking at you, and she's holding her drink, and she's looking deeply into your eyes right now after she just said, "I'm an oracle. I see everything." What are you going to do, Alara?
I literally just look at her and I'm blunt and I just say, "Why are you here?"
I'm interested in Professor Taufo Gogglefager's technology. If it is really something that he says it can do what it can do, then the Elven Empire wants it.
And what interest of it is the Elven Empire to have exclusive access to this technology? What do you plan on doing with it?
I feel as if the Elven Empire's interests are the Elven Empire's own. Why should I be telling you?
Because we have word that somebody is planning on doing something that could potentially put my client at harm, and I have a right to know.
Roll me a persuasion check, please.
Let's get... Perception, persuasion.
A 14? Okay. Alright, let's see. High Oracle Thessalia. Jesus. Okay. It's a whispered roll, but I'll just tell everyone. She rolled a natural 20 on this bad boy.
Oh
She is not convinced at all. At all, at all.
Not even a
Just-
little bit.
Yeah, she goes, I know. And that is why you and your 3 companions are here. I believe you are each paid 250 credits to be here, 250 upon completion, as long as Gogglefager doesn't die. Is that correct?
I mean, I'm not here to discuss the terms of my deal with you, but, you know, that's in a general area.
Let's just say, as the largest empire in the entire verse, we have vested interest in access to the dead zones, which have been blocked off, as it were, to everyone. Until she gestures to, and I think this is where we get the crossover point where we watch Gogglefager go up onto the stage, and she gestures as he goes up, and he starts clapping his hands and trying to get everyone to sit down. It's like, if what he has said is true, I think that's about all you need to know about the Elven Empire and its doings. I'd like to have future conversations. Well, I suppose as long as the job goes well, we can talk later.
I just walk off. No finishing the conversation. I'm done.
Sure.
Now.
You walk off, and like we get the camera over the shoulder, and she gives like a little glass raise and continues her drink. But okay, sure. So she didn't have you arrested or anything. That's probably pretty good, but we'll have to see how that pans out in the future. So the professor's got everyone seated. He is working on something on a tablet up at the top there, probably getting the presentation prepared for the projector screen. So what I would like you guys to do on this map here, please do somewhat arrange where you would want to be to observe the goings-on for during the presentation. And while we take a look at that, I will... Okay, that's that, and that's that. So you guys are arranging yourself? Cool. The professor seems to be having some kind of trouble with his data pad, and he scratches his head and he kind of gets down off the stage, and there's a little bit of grumbling from the crowd where they're all arranged. Who has the highest, who's proficient technology? I believe Grim is, yeah. So the professor will walk all the way down over to where Grim is situated at the back of the bar. And he goes, I hate to ask you this, but the holo screen isn't working, and I may be somewhat of a genius, but I can't seem to get it to do anything. Would you mind assisting me on the stage for a moment?
All right, sure.
So you guys go back up to the stage, and he presents to you the holo screen terminal. So what I would like for you to do is roll me a technology check. Now, this is a reminder for those of you guys that have technology, data, or piloting. That check is listed on the center block underneath your attacks and spells because I had to add it on additionally because Roll20 doesn't obviously have that innately. So please roll me a technology check, Grim.
Just let me put my glasses on, Professor. I don't have batteries yet, but they look great.
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna have a look at this here.
All right. So roll me a technology check, please.
And DM for that, I just click on the technology check.
Correct. And that should work if I've got it set up correctly. Perfect. Just enough. An 11. Well, the answer's relatively simple. And it seems that maybe Professor Oren might be a little bit nervous about things coming up and hasn't necessarily double-checked everything here. It just needed to be recalibrated by turning it off and back on again. It seems that problem has been solved.
Here you go, Professor.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you so much. I'm feeling a little bit nervous here, but yes, okay. If you don't mind, and he gestures you over to the side of the stage, and he calls for the other three of you to come up and just for like a little powwow, a little thing here, right? Kind of off to the side of the stage. And he's, okay, I'm going to begin the presentation. And as you guys have stated, it's possible that there is an assassin somewhere here in our midst. Now, I'm going to go on with this. Whatever happens will happen. I'm not going to let fear keep me from making the verse a better place. And you note, each of you, that he looks a little bit sad, but excited. He seems to have this nervous energy about him, and he really wants this to go well. So thank you for your help this evening. And let us begin. Okay. So you guys head back to your places that you had decided upon earlier, and Professor Talfo will get himself situated to begin the presentation. Now, what I would like you guys to do as I clear this out, please roll me some initiative, okay? This is because during the presentation, there will be moments in time where you are allowed to observe things that are going on around the room. Specifically or non-specifically, you get to let me know if you're watching someone specific, an area, or something else while he's doing this presentation. This will hopefully let us know maybe if something bad is going to happen. But yes. So that will be what we do with that. So yes, if you could please, you click your token and then you click initiative on the on your character sheet. So it looks like, Grim, I need to add yours real quick. Oh no, you got it. 12. Awesome.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know if I clicked my character the first time.
All good. You're there now. Perfect. Okay. there is a silence that comes over the room. The music stops, the people stop talking, the lights somewhat dim around. Everyone is arranged and ready for the presentation for Professor Talfo Gogglefogger, esteemed scientist. And you are all looking around the room here. So, we have Clover with a 15. Okay, so on the 15. Great. So, Clover, who are you watching right now?
Clover is going to watch Helios.
At the back of the bar.
Yep.
Okay.
So she's sitting here at this booth. She's sitting sideways and her legs are dangling off the edge. She's just kind of like cursory looking around. She does not seem that all interested in the presentation itself. It seems kind of lost on her.
Mm-hmm.
But she keeps looking back over towards Helios.
Yeah. So you see Sir Helios Horus back standing guard, I suppose, at the bar. And you see him watching the crowd rather attentively, as if with hawk's eyes. He notices you watching him.
I have a question. Is there a physical barrier here between the crowd?
That becomes an invisible barrier when the ads are turned off on it for the presentation.
Okay, so there is no barrier right
It's like
there.
a piece of glass that is standing there. It's like a hollow screen, right?
Mhm.
So it is visible on both sides. When it is on,
Mhm.
you can see the pictures, but when it is off, it is just a piece of glass.
And it is off right now.
It is currently off now for the presentation.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
So you are able to see directly through it. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah. So Sir Helio Horus notices you and gives you a nod of his feathered head before continuing a scan around the room. Roll me an insight check. A 9. Okay. You, I think, are too taken with Sir Helio Horus to note any insightful things about the night. Okay. Grim, what are you keeping an eye on right now?
So I'm turned to the side. I also had my eye on Sir Helios.
Okay.
Because out of everyone I stopped to listen to, I think he knows so much about the professor that perhaps in his mannerisms and the way that he's spoken to my group, because all I did was listen when I was at the bar with him, that he's just a little suspicious for me.
Okay, roll me an insight check for that as well, please. A 20. Nice. You note that Sir Helio Horus, after he notes that you are watching him, he's very observant. He gives you a curt nod and continues watching the rest of the crowd here. He's looking at the crowd and not at you guys, despite the watchful eyes. It seems that he has noted that you see him, but he is more interested in the crowd at this point. Okay. Alara, what are you doing?
I'm keeping an eye on the Birdman, but I'm also
Everyone watching Birdman now.
But I'm also kind of keeping an eye on from the back. I'm in a good position to use my blow dart gun if I had to for any reason.
Okay.
You might need to move over one square. I don't think currently your vision. I think your vision.
Yeah, your vision would be a little bit cut off,
There
but
we go,
like
yeah.
you'd step out and be able to.
Yeah,
it's
okay.
Okay. Sure. So, are you specifically watching the bird at the bar?
I'm kind
We
of
have
like
3 people watching him now.
I'm kind of like peeping the game of what's going on during the presentation,
Okay.
but he's just really weirding me out with the fact that he's just chilling by himself in the back, like.
Roll me a perception check. Let's just do a general perception check,
Okay,
please.
perception.
Mhm.
Whew, God, my rolls
5.
are off tonight. What's wrong?
Okay. I will let you know what you see during the presentation, okay? Leonardo, You have situated yourself on the southern end of this map here.
Yes.
Who are you looking out for?
I'm actually looking at the front row, and I don't know if it's possible if I have to roll for this, but I'm kind of like walking up and down in a way of this.
Okay,
this
so
little
you're
path I'm doing.
patrolling. You're patrolling the little area over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's. Are you trying to do it quietly, or are you just doing it like you're walking around in your space armor?
Yeah, my space armor. Quietly, I guess.
Quietly?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't make no clinking noise or anything. You know.
Sure.
Yeah.
But you are trying to be,
Yeah, 'cause I
surreptitious
figure that,
about
you know,
it.
I am in, like, for my past and everything, like, I'll be patrolling in a way. So I'm kind of like walking up and down just this little path right here. So, like,
Sure.
it's in a way. Yeah.
Roll me a general perception check then for the front row, and I'll let you know what you see.
All right.
An 18. Nice. Okay, cool. So a hush comes over the room, and finally, after an entire session of D&D last week, we finally get to Professor Oren Talfo Gogglefogger's presentation. The diminutive professor takes the stage, wearing this strange mechanical device strapped over his shoulders like some kind of backpack. It seems to be mumbling absent-mindedly to himself. He sets his data tablet down on the table alongside a number of odd-looking gadgets and fiddles with his rolled-up shirt sleeves. One of the gnomish assistants, you can't tell whether it's Tim or Tab, activates a small drone camera, which flies towards him with a hydraulic whoosh that gives him a bit of a start. After a moment, he presses his hand to his heart with relief and smiles for the camera. All the others of the Starswell bar begin to gather for the speech. They've all taken their seats. Only the bartenders and Sir Helio Horus don't take a seat in front of the stage. Instead, they linger back at the bar. The lights in the room dim and turn purple. A bright spotlight lingers on Professor Oren and the stage. So you guys have specifically been watching Sir Helio Horus right before this here. We have Leonardo watching now as he walks back up and down. So you note, I believe it's probably easiest for you here as you walk up and down to see Tiberius Vinter. He's right in front of you here, right? He's this half-orc on the southern end, sitting on the row next to Darkstar, and he lifts his hand to shield his eyes and look around the room and notes you. Roll me an insight check, please. A 9. Okay. To you, it looks like, well, he's doing his job. He's keeping an eye on the room, too. Remember, he was hired as a bodyguard as well. So it doesn't seem like there's anything suspicious about him keeping an eye out. And so you walk back up and down. Again, Clover, are you watching anyone else? Or are you still all eyes here for one Sir Helio Horus?
She would want to do a good job. So I think like once the presentation actually starts, she'll probably look at whoever's closest to her. So she'll look at whoever this individual is.
Okay. Yeah, there seem to have been some additional people that have come in since you guys had originally entered the Starswell bar. Just a couple of odds and ends of different people. Some of them look, like they probably belong here. Some of them look like Certain, and they might just be regulars of the Starswell. But each seems interested in what the professor has to say. Did you want to attempt to speak to them during the presentation, or are you just observing them?
Oh no, like a wallflower. She just watches.
Like a wallflower. Roll me some insight. Let's see if you get an insight on this hooded person here.
Okay. Easy.
23. You see them. They have what looks to be a small, shiny silver object, and it's a recorder. Oh, it looks like they're probably going to be taking some kind of audio notes here. You see a data pad that turns on, and it seems that they might have some kind of camera in their glasses. You could probably surmise that this is some kind of reporter, blogger, or otherwise that is here to observe the professor and report on it in some way.
Well, this is all very important news, so that's not too unusual.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so you have observed them. Grim, one more person. Who else are you looking at?
I am looking at. Ooh, it's a tough choice. Because I don't recognize most things.
There are 4 new ones here, and honestly, they're newcomers.
I'm looking at this person. I don't know if I how to show it to you.
If you
though.
click and hold, it will ping a location. Yeah, it's one of the new people. I honestly just grabbed a token, so they're just other people that are in the room right now.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm looking at this person.
Same thing.
It's just that it's a new person. I can't.
It's another person that came into the. I mean, if you would like to look at them, you can. But you have not seen them before, so if you want to.
Yeah, no, I'm not interested in if I've seen them before so much as like trying to see if I kind of notice anything that they're doing that might be suspicious.
Roll me some kind of insight check here. Let's do insight. As you're watching them from behind here. A 12. No, they just seem to be a dark elf gentleman, long white hair tied back, watching the professor intently. A 12, I don't believe, is going to give you much more than that. They do seem to have their hands kind of like tucked underneath their coat, but you're not sure if they're just doing that because it's comfortable or if they're, reaching for a weapon. There's no real indication that a 12 will give you at this point.
Am I able to just move and maybe just sit here?
Yeah, you want to just take a seat?
Yeah.
At that chair? Yeah, sure. Yeah, you go over and you take a seat next to the High Oracle Thessalia, who is on your northern end there, and he looks over at you and gives you a nod and a smile and arranges herself and crosses her legs, waiting for the professor to continue the presentation. Alara, one more person. Who else are you looking at?
I'm gonna say Elven chick still. I can't.
So the High Oracle, Thessalia?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thessalia.
Yeah, roll me some insight. 15. Good roll. Thessalia is in the back row. And as you've noted, that it's filled up with some latecomers here to the presentation. She seems calm. And she turns to look at you and gives you that same strange smile as she normally does. And she turns back around. But okay, now you have a bead on her. So as the presentation goes, there's some extra things that come with High Oracle Thessalia here. All right, one more from Leonardo here. What do you got for me?
Insight roll?
Who are you watching? You said the front row. Do you have anyone specifically that you're looking at right now?
I was looking at the bankers, but then I'll keep an eye on for this turn on Ember, actually.
Okay, yeah. Ember, do a perception check for me on this one.
Sure.
Ooh, okay, natural 1. I think you're taken by how it's sometimes hard to tell if an amoeboid is interested in something or if they have some kind of expression on their face, because it's hard for other humanoids to recognize those things. But you've spent some time with them now, and so you totally understand that they are they're fully leaning forward, data pad is out, and they're just typing away on it with their
nerding
little
out and everything.
fingers.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yes. Yeah, and the little bright light of the data pad is there, and they note that it's a little bit too bright, and so they turn down the brightness, and then the kid continue typing, and they're just leaning super far into it. You note that they too seem to have some kind of audio recording device too. There seems to be a small silver rod of some kind that they're utilizing. But yeah, it doesn't. I mean, they look exactly how you saw them earlier, just eager to be listening to the professor.
Yeah.
So,
and I'll give a little smile and nod to myself, being okay, I'm checking, they check out, they're okay and everything. I have an understanding of them now.
She hasn't even moved. She's still in the same chair you saw her in earlier, and she's just glowing faintly blue. It's So, okay. That being all said here.
I did just, as I'm sitting in the chair, I want to have sort of noticed Leo looking at this amoeboid and just turn to him and say, "What's your fixation with the Jello?"
I don't know. I like their color.
Because I just see him staring at her. And I'm like, okay, to each their own.
Okay. So the professor begins his presentation. He looks up from the table and gives a nod to the audience and pushes a button on one of the small devices in front of him. There's an awkward pause when nothing happens except for a small whirring sound, and the audience kind of stirs anxiously. Then there is a burst of light as the device appears to project a massive star map, filling up the entire room with a breathtaking view of the verse at large. A few members of the audience gasp as Professor Oren begins speaking in a bright tone. As is custom, he begins his presentation with a terrible joke and a joyful wag of his eyebrows. All of the known verse, so beautiful it makes the goggles fog.
Oh boy.
After a few moments of awkward silence, Professor Oren Talfo Gogglefogger coughs into the back of his hand, wipes some sweat from his eyebrows, and continues. Our civilizations have redefined the word impossible for millions of years, and yet, until now, only gnomish technology, my people's technology, could traverse the dead magic zones. While the government in Nibelian would never agree with my stance, it is my firm belief that all races and civilizations deserve the chance to access the many worlds within these dead magic zones. And that is precisely why I have created the Talfo Matrix, a technology that projects a field allowing magic in the zones where magic has always been said to be an impossibility. Several figures in the crowd begin to clap and cheer as the professor's opening remarks. You note that it's mostly just Tim and Tab, but that's fine. Of course, just as many sit watching silently. During the applause, you note that from the bar and behind it, the dwarf Surdin stands up and boos loudly at the professor. Captain Lysandra gets up from their seat and begins to stomp loudly towards the back of the bar to get them to quiet down. And as she approaches, Surdin backs off very quickly. After some of the commotion fades and the captain returns back to their seats, Professor Oren Gogglefogger continues. Yes, well, I guess not everyone could be excited about this. And Surdin, again, will boo from the back of the room here. Let's do this really quickly. You are the closest, Alara, and it seems that Surdin is not going to back down without some kind of fight here. Is there anything that you would like to do to get this man to calm down?
Yeah.
No, you're just gonna let him boo.
I'm just gonna let him do his thing.
Okay. Sure. Clover, is there anything you want to do about this?
Oh no. Clover just kind of looks around nervously. She has that look of like, is someone gonna do something?
You do note that the captain looks like she's ready to get back up and actually go over and probably throttle this man.
Okay. Clover looks intently at her.
Yep. Grim, is there anything you want to do here?
I would really love to do a little movement in my dance-like way that I do and move to the back of the bar just to give him a quick little nudge to shut it.
Sure. Yeah, so you move yourself to the back of the bar here as he goes, boo! Boo! Stay out of the dead zones! It's not for people! It's not for... it's not! and he turns to you, and you see like kind of like some spittle flying from his mouth. He's getting really agitated and kind of worked up here. What do you want to do?
I just want to pat him on the head and say, calm down, dear. It'll all be okay.
Roll me a persuasion and or intimidation. I'm not sure which one that is supposed to be.
You know, they're the exact same. So let me just decide which one I want to use.
Yeah, what is this head pat move with Certain here? An intimidation. Your calm confidence and the way that you just walk up to this thick old dwarf and pat them on the head unnerves the old one. And he quiets down. And he sits. I'm just saying, the dead zones aren't for people. Just leave them alone. We don't need this gnomish technological buffoonery.
Well, be sure to write it in a letter and send it in to the nearest news station. But for now, keep it shut.
Yeah. Okay.
Have another drink. Simmer.
And the bartender, noting this, slides a beer down the bar, and Certain seems appeased.
Don't make me come back over here.
The crowd seems to have gotten a little bit noisy with the scuffle, and the professor's like, it's under control. It's fine. Just let's get back to the presentation, please. Please. Do you head back to your seat there, Grim?
I'm heading back, and I'm actually heading right over. I just dance. I'm like, I move very lightly and quickly, and I just move right here.
Oh, goodness. Okay, yeah, so now you're way up in the front. Okay.
And I'm just leaning against the side of this booth with my legs crossed, just,
Yeah, just watching now. Tiberius notes you approach and gives you a curt nod and, one of those, good work kind of things. You got the old man to sit down. Nice. The professor coughs into his microphone and speaks up, regaining the attention of the crowd, or trying to. My friends, I know that change can be frightening, and I know that expanding our interstellar boundaries will bring about its own challenges, but it is only through working together that we can make the best of our future, to make the most of the Talfo Matrix's potential. Give me a chance to show you our dreams can change into reality. Presses a button on the dock in front of him, and the star map vanishes, returning the room to its previous purple dim glow. On a screen behind the professor, the number 20 appears in clean white font. He pulls a lever protruding from the side of the device on his back, and a cloud of fog begins to drift out, rolling over the floor of the stage in a dramatic fashion. Behold! Orin exclaims, gesturing back to the hollow screen, which is now counted down to a 10. The schematic blueprints to the first ever Talfo Matrix, small enough to fit into a Corvette-sized vessel. The crowd is quiet. It seems confused by what they're watching. The professor turns around. His eyes go wide as he stares at the current number on the hollow screen. 4. That is not my schematics, he whispers. And then an explosion rips through the star swill bar. Exploding outwards. Every creature within 15 feet of the stage, please roll me dexterity saving throws. So on your sheet there, you should be able to find dexterity saving throws. And this is the entirety of the stage. If you're within 15 feet of it right now, so that is going to be, that's going to be Clover. It's everyone up to the third row of seats currently.
Leo.
Okay. And that is a lot of characters for me to roll. Okay. Let's start with you.
Look at us.
Okay. There's a lot of people on this row here. And you and you and these people here and okay. All right. So that is a oh goodness. An 18 from Grim, an 18 from Clover, a 19 from Leonardo, and I am missing one from... Oh no, Alara's not in 15 feet. Alara made a good decision today. So back in the back.
Wow,
If you
don't sound so surprised, sir.
If you rolled over a 14, you have successfully succeeded the saving throw. Diving backwards out of the way, you will take half this amount of damage as 5d6 thunder damage rolls out from the stage, exploding outwards, pushing people and chairs and everything else to the side. So you each take 8 damage. You are not knocked prone because you were successfully able to kind of dodge out of the way here. So you're looking pretty good. A lot of other people are not. You note that it seems that like Darkstar has been tossed backwards, as has Ember. Chairs are scattered all the way around. It seems that some people are entirely unconscious at the back row. Some of the newcomers here have just they're lying on the ground, seemingly unconscious. Okay, they failed this, so they take. Oh goodness gracious. Okay. Yep, Ember is lying on the ground. It looks like the captain, the Nautilid, is doing okay. It seems that they tried to shield Ember as much as possible from the impending blast, but it's definitely, they're not looking super good. Okay. Let's see. They were successful. They were not. They were, well, they're on the ground anyways. They were successful and they still got blown out. Okay, so, and you, great. Okay, so.
DM, I do have a question. I see that.
What's up?
Stella tried to type it in chat, but I don't quite understand what she's saying.
Sure.
Do damage on my.
Yeah, so if you click your token and it pops up with that little bubble, and you click the green bubble, it has like a little part you can type in. If you just do that and you can like type in minus or plus or something, and it will just do that amount to your health. If that doesn't work for you, you can go to your character sheet and just click it up and click it down at however many points you need to.
Okay. I got it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Cool. So, it looks like the audience has been scattered by the blast, with individuals holding their ears and shouting amidst the chaos. A large beam is falling through the panel ceilings and crashes down towards High Oracle Thessalia. Unconcerned and without so much as a glance at falling debris, she takes a small step out of the way, and the beam misses her, but it does happen to land on everyone in this entire row here. So there's just I'm putting the black beam there. It is just a beam that is there now. Sir Heliohorus rushes towards the stage from the bar, barking out orders to anyone who will listen. He says, "I'll get the professor! Don't let the assassin escape!" So now we have to figure out who the heck that is. And we're at the top of the turn order here, so we're going to start with Clover at that 15. You note that things are happening around the room, but what do you want to try and do here? As the dust is settling, chairs are blown all over the place.
I think
I'll mark the people that are prone here as well.
Very first thing Clover is going to do is look around to see how the infrastructure is. Does it look like the ceiling's going to collapse?
Roll me a perception check, please.
Okay. She wants to make sure, like, if we try to keep these people here, are they going to be safe in this particular spot? That's an 18.
An 18? It could be how, I guess, it depends on how familiar Clover is with structure of, like, things. But with an 18, you can pretty well tell that where that beam came down, it is potentially possible for more of that to happen.
Okay. That particular spot? Or more of that?
Looking up at the ceiling, you note that most of the ceiling panels are entirely rusted out. And you noted earlier that a thwirl fell through.
Mm-hmm.
So it is entirely possible that with the size of this explosion, that from where that beam is or where the hollow thing is towards the stage is at risk right now.
Okay. In that case, as soon as Clover notices this, she's going to head over to the crowd and try to help people onto their feet. So she'll like kind of scoot in towards this area, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
And just try to help people up onto their feet.
Sure. You note that Kenny is standing still, arms upraised, and has something in their right hand.
Are you all right? What are you doing?
There's a slow turn of the head, and Kenny's eyes are glazed over. And looking more closely, the device in his hand seemed to be some kind of button. He lunges at you, attempting to stab you with a blade that has come from somewhere.
Oh.
A 24.
That's a hitch. My armor class is 18.
He hits you right underneath that armor for 5 piercing damage, slamming a short sword into you. And he tries to run. He's going to begin to try and run away here. But that all happens on your turn, and you have just gotten stabbed by Kenny. Is there anything else that you want to do? That was action for the perception, movement. Do you want to do any more movement? And do you have a bonus action you want to do here?
Clover's going to cry.
Okay.
Bonus action, she's going to cry. That's all I got. Yep, that's my turn.
Okay. Grim, as the dust kind of settles and clears, it's very hard to see into the crowd in front of you as there's debris and things scattered all over the place. It would be kind of hard to move in there too. You note that Tiberius in front of you here has gotten Darkstar kind of pressed up against the stage and seems to be trying to hoist him up onto it, and is like looking around, and he has this like negative energy glaive pulled out.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
Negative energy glaive?
Sure, I probably said that incorrectly because you each have blades that
I know what a
do
glaive is. I just was curious. I'm like, wow, okay.
Antimatter glaive. There you go.
Scary.
Negative energy. Antimatter.
In the position that I am in at the moment, with him I'm assuming distracted by what he's doing, I would like to use my sneak attack.
On Tiberius?
Well, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know why he has that glaive out. I can't
Okay,
see what
so-
else is happening in the bar.
Sure.
But my other thing I was thinking about doing is essentially dashing on. Well, I don't know if I have to use my cutting action or not, but I wanted to dash onto the stage to try and grab the professor. So, but
Okay, so those
I mean,
are two different things that
Tiberius
will.
nodded at me before, so I feel like we're cool. I don't know. It's hard to say.
These are two very different things. Do you want to stab Tiberius or do you want to go get the professor?
I love blood. I'm gonna get the professor though.
Okay.
I just
Okay,
want to
sure.
leap onto the.
Yeah, so you jump
Stage.
up onto the stage. It's not that far. It's not that far. You're a rogue of deft skill, so you can
Okay,
get up
I
onto the
was like, I
stage and you
just-
run over to the professor, who is prone on the ground right now and coughing on all of the dust in the air.
I want to. Is this when I look around? This what looks like a door to my left? Is it open?
No,
Okay.
not open.
Good to know. Not an escape. I sort of want to just like grab him and see if I can somehow get him out of this area to a safe spot.
To a safe spot.
To a spot that appears safer than where this blast took place and away from the group of people here.
So your movement, you have, I believe, 30 total movement. So you have 20 that will get you up there to him, and you can assist him in getting up for your action. Moving him, I mean, he will be able to run on his own turn, or you'll be able to assist him to run on his own turn, but you will have to decide on which direction you want that to happen in.
Which direction?
Right. So where do you want to take him?
Okay. So
I mean, as of right now, I'm just going to move you. You're here.
Yeah, okay.
Right?
What I'm assuming is that, as you said, because of the dust, I probably didn't see what happened between Clover and Kenny.
Correct.
So I am going to make the decision to go this way because it's the most open path.
Okay.
Or it's the same direction Kenny's running.
Okay, so as of right now, let's say your turn was get up onto the stage, help the professor up. On your next turn, you will be helping the professor get away. These are two separate things.
Okay,
right.
Could I have used my? Was I able to use my cunning action to dash to him on the stage, and then still?
You wouldn't need to dash to him onto the stage,
and I can't
because
use the cunning action to do any other movement with him right now, right?
No, I would say not unless you were physically carrying him, which is another whole thing. So you could try to do that if you would like.
I would like to try to carry him. I want to try and scoop him up and see if I can move him.
Roll me an athletics check.
Ugh.
Yeah, this is strength based. A 14. You're definitely able to get him up. I'm gonna say that you probably it's not gonna be quick because you're carrying someone. So every step that you take is technically 2 steps. So it would be half movement. So it takes your movement to get up there. Your action is to scoop this guy up, and you're going to try and dash with your cunning action to get him out. So you have, let's say, 3 squares. You have 15 movement remaining.
Okay. Yeah, you just moved me.
Is that where you want to be?
Yes. But, well, does this line extend to right there? Or...
The bar? I mean, yeah, kind of. It's just like in the area.
Well,
everything's difficult terrain too, so you were not going to be able to move very quickly through those like blown back chairs and like exploded pieces of table and stuff, you know?
Yeah, so am I able to get to here with him? Is that, I don't know how far we can go.
Can you ping the spot for me that you're trying to get?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Like on, you want to be on like this side of the table?
Yes.
It's kind of a tight squeeze. I'd say if you were carrying him, you would not be able to stop in that location.
Okay. Yeah. If we can just move, however, maybe we just made it. We're starting to make it down the stairs, essentially.
Okay. So let's just say here, and you have him scooped up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's fine. So Professor Orin has been scooped up by Grim, and they're beginning to make their maybe hopeful escape. Alara, what do you want to do here? You're muted currently.
Want to pull out my blow dart gun. It's time.
Okay.
And I want to... Yeah,
yep.
I've got a blow dart gun. And I want to use it on the creature that had the obvious, like, possession or something and that stabbed Clover.
It will be tough for you to see this from that angle because of all the dust, smoke, and the falling bars from the ceiling. So I'm going to need you to roll me a perception check to even note if you can, and it's at disadvantage because of the debris.
Okay, let's go.
12, so roll me one more for disadvantage.
The same of perception?
Yep.
All right.
A 6. You are unable to tell within that scrum that Clover was even stabbed.
Okay.
So with a 6 perception, you don't, like, this whole mass in here is almost impossible for you to see. And the fact that Clover's even in here right now, I'm going to move Clover out this way because technically you can't really stop in those squares with everyone there. You can't see, like, you can't rightly see anything that's happening there. You could make a guess if you wanted to and just start blow darting people, but again, it's going to be hard for you to do.
Let's I don't know. Let's move a little bit closer and to the elf, kind of from behind her though. Because she stepped really deftly out of the way. I know she's an oracle and she probably saw it coming. But let's get a little closer to her, but still staying far enough away from the perceived action.
Okay, so move your token where you would like to. You have 30 feet of movement. Each box is 5 feet, and you have a measuring tool if you would like to use it to see how far you'd be able to get. When you get up to like this area in here, and I'll just go ahead and highlight it. This all becomes difficult terrain, which means it costs double movement to move around in here.
There we go.
I'm gonna go ahead and do that. This whole area in here is all difficult terrain.
Right. I'm still within range of kind of blocking an escape of the elf if the elf tries to go anywhere, but I'm still outside of the box.
Okay. Anything else that you would like to do with your turn?
Nope.
Okay. Leonardo, you were able to keep your feet, but there are definitely some people down and some people pinned under a rod. It seems that there's a lot of things going on here. What do you want to do?
So I just want to know, does Grim notify me that they're going to go after the professor on their, because I know their turn is like one movement, right?
Yeah, so this is all happening simultaneously.
Okay.
While we watch this, everything that you guys are doing happens in the same 6 seconds. We just decide how it kind of happens in the microseconds of that.
Okay.
Right? So you see Grim leap up onto the stage and go for the professor, but then you do your thing. Now, whether or not Grim said, this is what I'm doing, that's up to Grim.
Okay. And then I assume these are the people right here, but that's underneath the rod as well?
So yeah, the black bar here where it's over those 2 tokens, they're underneath that bar right now. And imagine that all of these chairs are kind of blown out of the way. You've got like one tangled up in your leg and you toss it over to the side and there's just a whole bunch of mess in here and it's all very dusty and like all the rust in the ceiling is coming down. It's not a very pleasant situation. Got a lot of people on the ground. You can try and perceive some things if you would like to, or you can just start doing what you want to do.
Okay. Since I see Grim heading towards the professor, I'm gonna help these people out right here under the rod and try to help them, like, I guess lift up the rod to help them escape it or something.
Okay, so you want to try to lift this rod?
Yeah.
Oh goodness. Okay, maneuver yourself to where you would try to do that from.
All right. Be right here, I guess.
Okay. It's a pretty hefty, like, steel girder.
Okay.
Roll me an athletics check if you want to lift this bad boy.
Sure. Athletic, you said?
Mm-hmm. Feats of strength are athletics. A 13. You're able to start maneuvering it upwards, and I think you could probably get one of them free right now, but it looks like both of them are unconscious, and as you've approached and you can see them a little bit better from where you are now, they're not moving.
Yeah.
So you're gonna need some kind of help here if you want to get this stuff done.
Who's this person right over here? Were they damaged or anything like that? The person I'm right behind.
Click hold and it can ping.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Sorry. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
That's the elf that everyone continues to talk about that you had some drinks with and stuff. That's
right.
High Oracle Thessalia. I don't have a pink mohawked token for them, but that is them.
I'm gonna go to them and, like, since I'm very near them and everything, I'm like, is there anything you can do to wake them up?
Oh, well, maybe we should just pull them out of the way first. She'll begin to assist you in removing these people from underneath here.
Okay.
She looks surprised that she was asked to do something, I think, which is interesting. But yeah, so she'll begin to assist you there.
Okay.
Okay, so at this point in time, at the top of the turn order, Tiberius has dragged Darkstar Killabob up to the top here, has flipped over this table and is using it as cover. and has like some chairs and stuff behind it or whatever, and seems to be defending them. It looks like Kiri is unconscious on the ground, and it looks like someone is going to begin to try and make their escape. So coming out of the smoke here, Alara, you note one of the halfling twins begins sprinting by you, running away. Sir Helio Horus has begun running upwards this direction. They basically pass right by each other to attempt to go find the professor like he said he would. And so he is well on his way over in that direction. Cerdin has leaped behind the bar and is cowering in fear. Ember has been helped up off the ground and is now no longer prone. And they're kind of panicky and looking around and seeing maybe what they could do. And they're looking and they see these people that are unconscious. It's not a very good sign. And, oh boy. So Ember tries to, it looks like Ember, we get this like camera shot of all the melee and the debris and stuff. And Ember's trying to find their data pad. And they're unable to currently do so while they're like on their hands and knees to try and find it. The captain stomps up past you guys onto the stage and seems to be going after Darkstar. The captain pulls out their rocket hammer and their tri-barrel ion cannon in the other hand, and they're gonna start shooting over at Darkstar. And they start blasting at the table here. It's just like, and you are unsure if it's made any connection, but we can see like the light of that cannon through the debris, right? You get that little light effect on the particles. Yeah, okay. Let's see, who else? Do I have anyone else that is still conscious here? Okay, yeah. Darkstar doesn't know who the attacker is, so he doesn't do anything here. But it seems like he will probably end up defending himself from the captain if nothing is done rather quickly. But, Clover, it is now your turn. What do you want to do?
Is the professor unconscious?
The professor was not unconscious, just knocked prone and seems rather like he's got like scuffs and bruises and stuff on him. Again, it's very hard for you to see in the debris. I think you just get the idea that Grim is here and the professor is being taken somewhere.
Clover is like holding whatever part of her was stabbed, and there's like blood on her hand, and her blood is blue, and she looks up to Grim and she says, he stabbed me. The nervous one. Oh, you're muted.
I finally mute. Okay. Who stabbed you?
I don't know their name, but he went that way. And points over
What did he look like?
Do you point down at the twin halfling on the ground?
Yeah, she just points at the twin.
Kenny, I knew he was nervous and weird.
Poor guy.
He was
Clover,
almost
what
kind
else
of
do you wanna
cute.
do?
So what Clover will do is she will cast Healing Word on herself. This is a bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Okay,
see
cool.
her
6 healing.
hand kind of slap back onto her wound, and this sort of like pink pixelated, sort of digitized light begins to emit from her fingertips, and it seals up her injury. And she will begin running. No, she's going to try to help the people here. She says, "We need to stop him," and she's going to try to help the other twin up to their feet. Or
You note as you bend down, yeah, I should probably add another thing. They are unconscious. They're not just prone. Kiri is unconscious on the ground. You see like some blood coming out of her mouth and ears.
wake up! Shake, 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 shake.
There is no response. They are unconscious. You will have to do something to either stabilize them for later or heal them now to bring them out of unconsciousness. All of these people that are unconscious are currently making their death saves.
Gotcha. Okay, I see. In that case, then you see her double slap her hands onto this person's cheeks and cast Cure Wounds at level 1.
Okay.
So you see
You
the
hear this
same digitized, like...
Sharp, yeah. See this sharp intake of breath. Kenny! Where's Kenny? Where'd he go? What happened? Oh, God, I feel awful. And they kind of just like see you over them. Clover, is there anything else that you want to do?
He stabbed me, I went that way. That's it.
She gets this really quizzical look on her face, is kind of confused as to what that would mean and what would need to happen. Yeah. Grim, it is your turn. What do you want to do? You've got the professor in tow. You're going to have to force your way through some of the debris here. You're carrying someone, and it's difficult terrain.
Quick
You
question.
can get to the edge of it.
I have a DM question.
Sure.
What type of damage was it when the explosion went off?
Thunder.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Because I have resistance to fire damage, so I was just double
Yeah,
checking.
no, it was like a explosive
forgot about
concussive
it.
force. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, so I want to just take a quick survey of my surroundings, like who's around me, what's going on. I've already talked to Clover.
Very hard for you to see. You definitely noticed the Nautilid walking up with some kind of tri-cannon armature on one arm and a rocket hammer in the other and begin blasting at the table behind you at something.
Okay, so I don't know what's I'm not concerned with what they're doing, honestly, because I have the professor
Sure.
in my arms, and now that I know that it's Kenny, I'm moving towards Sir Helios with the professor.
Yeah. So with your full movement here, this is including the dash, because of the difficulty of carrying him as well as moving through this terrain, you can make it to the edge of the terrain on this turn.
Okay.
Okay? That is your full movement.
And
you still
I
have
want to just-
if you want to use your action to also move, you can, but that is up to you.
Oh, my cutting action. How far can I move with it from here? Can I make it to him?
You can make it to him.
Okay, I'll go ahead and do that.
Okay, that will be everything, by the way. That is your
Yeah.
movement, your action,
Can I
and your
speak?
bonus action.
Am I able to speak to
Speaking
him
is free.
once I get there?
Speaking is
Okay,
free.
right. Okay. I don't know
So
if
I'm gonna
you're
just
moving
move you
me
next
or
to him
he's
there.
moving
Yeah, I just moved you just so we could, because it's a lot of complicated movement math in between those two things with
Got
what's
it, thank
happening, so
you.
I just went ahead and did it. Yeah.
Helios, I've got the professor. It's Kenny. It's Kenny. Where did he go?
What? Give me the professor. Get after them.
I'm not giving you the professor.
It's your.
You
Someone
go.
has to catch the asset. I'm not going to be able to catch him.
Do I see a Lara through where he's standing?
You can kind of see him behind the bird head.
Alara, can you stop him?
Trying.
Alara, do you know, you didn't know who it was though, so now you know that it is Kenny, and Kenny ran past you.
Right.
So, okay. But now you know, it's Kenny. Okay,
That's it
Grim,
for
that
me.
is movement. You did a lot of moving there. Well done. Alara, you were just been informed that it apparently was Kenny. And Kenny just ran by you and is roughly 20 feet behind you. What do you want to do here?
I want to try to run and tackle him.
You want to tackle him, okay?
Wanna tackle
So
him.
you run. So go ahead and move your token. That's about 15 feet of movement there to get there, and then you're going to try and grapple. Tackling, yes. Grapple is what we call it in the rule set. So what you're going to do is make an opposed athletics check to see if you can't catch him.
Why won't it let me move?
What do you have the arrow tool selected?
Got
Top
it.
left.
Got it. Right here?
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so in that area, and you're going to attempt to grapple Kenny here, right? Like, that's what you want to do?
Yep.
Okay, so what you're going to do is roll opposing athletics checks here. So go ahead and roll me athletics. And he's going, well, it's opposing athletics. You make the athletics check. He has to make either a dex or athletics check. That's or acrobatics. With a 9, you are unable to grasp onto Kenny. Kenny is still free here. That is your movement and your action. You have a bonus action remaining here.
I use my blow dart.
Blow dart is a full action.
It's a full action? Okay.
To attack, yes. Attack is an action.
So, I have a bonus action.
Do you have any abilities that say bonus action?
As an
or
action.
Spells?
I have a spell.
Okay.
I have my bonus action. I can cackle.
Good. What does that do?
I'm not really sure. It extends the duration of my hexes.
Ah, okay. So a hex is one of your spells that you cast in an action.
Okay.
The cackle is a bonus action thing that you can do that extends the duration of that particular hex.
Okay. So I don't think any of my spells are things I can use.
Okay. So in that case, that is currently your turn.
All right.
Okay. Do you want to say anything? Talking is free. Do you want to relay
I
anything?
can't get him. Somebody stop him.
Sir Helio turns over to Grimm's like, see what I'm saying? Go get him.
What are you gonna do?
I'll take care of the professor. I'll take him to a secure location at the port.
Okay, give me all the details right now, and I need an oath from you that you're not gonna pull any shit.
Again, everything happening in 6 seconds. You're not getting all of the details right now.
Okay, I meant like where at the port, but like not.
Just come to my office after. Give him to me.
Do I know where his office is?
Yeah.
Can we yell to each other during this turn?
Yes.
Don't do it!
Where's Leo?
Yeah.
The professor
I'm
is
in
in
the
your arms
dust
like,
right
put me down! Put me down!
Do you know him, Professor?
Yes!
Well, okay, fine. I'll put you down. I don't think it's my turn to go after him, though. So
You put him down. It's fine. No, it's not, but you will have that opportunity in a little bit.
fine. Take him. Keep him safe.
Professor, come on! Okay, Leo, at the bottom of the turn order here, what do you want to do? Lasers have been fired up at the stage.
Yes.
You're trying to lift this thing. Are you still trying to get these people out from underneath this bar here? What's the plan?
I was wondering if they have been taken out yet, because we have assistance from the
Sure.
elf.
So at the top of the order, she would have dragged him out and then moved over here. The other one's still kind of pinned. So I would need you to like move over and try to get them up, right? Because I think you had a 13 on that previous athletics check. It wasn't enough to like Hulk strength this steel
absolutely
girder
not.
off of people, right?
Yeah.
But you can do this again if you would like to.
Okay, I think I'll complete that task actually.
Okay, roll me athletics again.
Okay.
This time you have some assistance, so roll it at advantage. So if you guys ever want to do advantage, disadvantage, at the top of your character sheet, there's like a toggle.
Oh, okay.
And you can toggle advantage on and off.
Okay.
So it'll roll both at the same time.
And then hit athletics now, right?
Yep, exactly. A 24, yeah, very well. A 24 and a 22. So you're able to lift the steel girder off. Let's just say you clatter it to the side over here or something, and you get it out of the way. And this one is moved also to safety, relative safety. They are both still unconscious.
Okay.
You're unsure whether or not they are alive. You have not been able to check for that yet, but they are out from underneath this girder. So that is action. You still have some movement remaining, and you have bonus action if you would like to do something.
I'll thank the elf. Thank you so much for your assistance. I appreciate it. Can you look after them?
Yes, of course.
And then at the moment, I'll hear like the shots happening on the stage. Yeah. And I'll actually head towards that direction.
Okay.
Because the surrounding is still like in a dust form, right? So I can't really see anything in front of me, right? Okay.
Yep, so you've moved 20-ish feet, so you could probably go another one. This is all very difficult terrain to move through right now. So you can make like one square move up towards the stairs there.
I'll go right there. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so that was the bottom of the order. Sir Helio Horus is going to gather up the professor here, and they're going to go together over this way and hop behind the bar, and they're going to end up disappearing through a side door there. The maybe assassin, the probable assassin is going to run. Now, they are going to use their action to dash, so they end up outside the bar as well. But we can always continue a chase outside the bar. But they disappear outside. Yeah, they disappear outside, and we get that look where like Kenny blasts through the door, right? And it like swings open really wide, and that like really thick human guard from outside like tilts their head in. And then they like get really startled and they hold the door open and then guards, assistance. Okay. Back at the top of the turn order, it looks like Ember has recovered their data pad, and they're kind of crawling this way a little bit, trying to get out from the melee there. Still unsure whether or not this one is alive or this one is alive. Kiri is trying to make their way out this way, and that's about as far as they can go with the difficulty of the terrain there. This table is absolutely upturned, flipped, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna draw a line for where he's got this thing flipped. And it looks like there is a firefight happening now between Tiberius, Darkstar, and the captain. So Tiberius has pulled out what looks to be a hyper repeater and is going to start blasting over at the captain here. Darkstar has also pulled out a repeater and is blasting over at the captain. The captain, oh my god, is getting ripped apart right now. That's a lot of damage. And the captain is going to fire back with their giant cannon that they have attached to their arm. 1, 2, 3. Oh, and all of those hit. Oh god. Okay, 2, 3. Okay, the cannon hits, even with the bonus to the cover from the table, and we get this, like, shot of, like, one of these lightning blasts coming out from the cannon, hitting Darkstar right in the face and just laying them out. They are unconscious on the ground right now. Tiberius is firing backwards. He gets hit by one of those things, but stays upright and conscious. Clover, what do you want to do?
Clover will climb onto the stage here. Kind of like pull herself up there.
Yeah.
And then she looks between the two groups fighting. She'll hold out her hands and she'll cast a spell. And you see like flowers sprouting from her hands, kind of radiating out. She's pointing one towards Lysandra, pointing the other towards the two and the table. She says, let's talk this through. And she casts Calm Emotions. Oh shit, it's a wall of text.
Oh, that's fine.
It's a charisma saving throw. The DC is 14.
Suppress strong emotions in a group of people. Each humanoid in a 20-foot sphere centered on a point you choose within range must make a charisma saving throw. They can choose to fail if they wish. They choose the following 2 effects. You can suppress effects causing a target to be charmed or frightened. Alternatively, you can make a target indifferent about creatures of your choice it is hostile towards. Oh, indifference ends if it is attacked or harmed by a spell or witness any of its friends being harmed. Okay, so charisma saving throw?
Yeah, so she's going to try to, so she'll cast it like from, oh yeah, there's plenty of space, yeah. Yeah, to make them indifferent to each other. So it'll be all 3 of these people.
What is the save?
14.
Okay. You note that Captain Lysandra like lowers their gun, and you hear like the discharge, like, and like the rocket end on the rocket hammer kind of falls down. But Tiberius is like he's ready to go, and it looks like he's about to take another shot.
Okay. She's going to step in the way then. I think that'll use up the rest of my movement.
It would.
She'll just try to like bodily get in between them at this point.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
That's
we will address that at the top of the turn. Okay, Grim, what do you want to do here?
I want to see what's in my backpack thing. I don't know how to open it.
So I put that in the different page. If you go to your bio page, it is down in the treasures area, so you don't have to go looking for it. It is just all listed there. Oh my god, that's right. Do you want to open your backpack? The Thwirl is in there. We don't really know if it's conscious or not.
No, I don't want to open it. I just
want to know what's in there? Sure.
Yeah, I just forgot what's in the pack.
Okay.
Oh, where's my character sheet? Okay, so I am, I guess, running after Kenny because that seems to be what everyone's telling me what to do. And begrudgingly, I let Helios take the professor, and I'm making my way after Kenny. So
okay.
At this point, I'm just trying to catch up with him. So I want to take my maximum movement, and I'd like to also use my cunning action and just get as far as I possibly can.
You're gonna move, you're gonna dash, and you're gonna dash. So you can do that 3 times because you are very, very quick. So what that means is I'm dragging you all the way over here because you disappear outside. But as you get outside, let's just say this is your movement and your bonus action. You look around. Mm-hmm. Try to spot where Kenny has gone. Please roll me a perception check. A 12. You think you glimpse a halfling in a white suit that has taken off down towards the left here, and so you begin to chase after them?
Yes.
Okay.
I chase after what is most likely Kenny.
It's your best guess right now. Yeah.
So is that just the rest of my movement? I don't know. We're not all outside yet, so I don't know how close I'm getting to him.
Right. You to this potentially Kenny creature, you are still like probably like a turn of movement away.
Okay.
Like if you moved and dashed, using your dash like for your bonus action, you'd be on top of them, but they're gonna get to go again too,
While I'm
right?
outside, I know I've spotted him. Do I see anything else that's going on outside? Is it quiet? Is it dark? Like
Yeah. So it's night. It's dark.
Not really anyone out.
Yeah, Porno. It's very dusty, and it's kind of like in disrepair. It's not really put together very well, and most ports are in grid systems. This one is not. It's kind of like a ramshackle place with a bunch of different types of buildings and stuff around, and we'll talk about more about those after we resolve this.
Continuing to pursue Kenny, I know I'm not going anywhere yet, but I'd like to try and move as stealthily as I can while I'm moving quickly, just so you know.
Okay, so the stealth check itself to do that.
He didn't see me leave the bar after him, right?
Not that you know of.
Not that I know of. Okay.
Okay. To do the stealth thing, if you're going to start doing that on your next turns, that will take up your action.
Okay.
So you will still be able to move and dash with your bonus action, but doing something like that, like perception or investigating or something like that, that is an action. So stealth is also one. Okay. You could hide. It's a little bit different. That's a bonus action for you, but it's slightly different.
We'll see where the
stealthy.
next turn takes me.
Okay. So Grim is now outside. Alara, what do you want to do here? You're unable to nab the baddie, so now what?
I want to dash outside.
Okay.
And that's it, right? That's my movement.
Yeah, I mean you'd basically get out there and be outside. You would have to use your action to dash to physically get outside. If that's your plan.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you also disappear outside, and you look around and you can kind of see Grim, probably 20 feet down the distance already, taking off down to the left-hand side. Okay, Leonardo, what would you like to do?
On my way to the stage, I notice Ember crawling away, and I want to tell them to actually hide here.
Okay, sure. Yeah. So you tell Ember to hide.
Yeah.
And you think they've heard you and understand what's happening through the commotion here and the gunshots. And so they will probably try to do so. Okay. What else do you want to do? I
actually want to head towards to the stage, so I'm not too sure how far I can move up, actually.
Yeah, you can make it onto the stage this turn.
Okay.
You can make it probably like around here or even here if you wanted to, if you use your full movement to get up there.
Okay, I'll actually go right here then.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, now you're like on the other side of the table. Do you have your blade out now, or?
Yes, definitely do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like staring down the repeater of Tiberius here. What else do you want to do?
I'm gonna ask Clover. Clover, are you okay?
I'm okay, just trying to diffuse the situation.
What is happening right now?
I don't know, but they're fighting. They shouldn't be fighting.
So I'm gonna try to like diffuse this situation here and tell them to just like halt your weapon.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Okay.
You really right now only have to persuade Tiberius.
Okay.
It seems that the captain was affected by Clover's spell. You don't know this, but you're really only rolling against Tiberius.
Okay.
Here.
Persuasion?
Yes.
Okay.
Unless you're trying to intimidate him.
Oh no, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. That's a 20 on the persuasion. Yeah, that definitely
That's what I mean.
seems
That's why it's
fine. Yeah, it definitely seems
Yeah.
fine. And you needed every bit of that 20 to diffuse that right there. Tiberius is apparently very charismatic. And Tiberius lowers his repeater.
Let's make them
didn't
drop it. Actually, drop it on the floor.
Drop it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He puts the repeater down gently.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
He's not gonna drop his.
No,
weapon.
that's what I mean. Like, yeah, put it on the floor. Yeah.
Yeah, and he goes,
away from your hands.
You better know what you're doing.
And I think at that point, the scene kind of fades here in the bar. We will end up resolving that in a moment. We'll also resolve what happens outside of the bar. We've gone way past our break time, so we're gonna need a little bit of time here to use the restroom, grab some drinks, and the otherwise. And when we come back, when DieFall Conspiracy in the Stars returns, we will resolve the chaos at the Star Swill bar. Thanks for being here tonight, guys, and we will be right back. Hey guys, thanks again for tuning in to DieFall Conspiracy in the Stars. This is episode 2. Big thank you to Mage Hand Press for sponsoring us and this show. If you guys would like to get your hands on some dark matter goodness, head on over to the link there in the chat. It will also be posted up on the YouTube and the Spotify and the iTunes and all the places that you can find this lovely show. Clicking that link and supporting their Kickstarter not only supports them, but also this show. So I would appreciate if you guys at least went over and took a little bit of a look. If you ever wanted to play D&D 5e in space, there is no better place to start than that Kickstarter right there. If you guys want to get caught up on any of the other shows that we do here, we do have 2 Dungeons & Dragons shows that we are running currently. You can head on over to the YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/runawayrobot. Or if you like the podcast format better, you can head on over to iTunes, Spotify, and or SoundCloud under DieFall Dungeons & Dragons or DieFall Podcast, and you can find all of our good tabletop content there. If you'd like to support us directly here at DieFall, you can head on over to the DieFall Patreon. You can become part of the show itself by providing NPC names or an NPC itself, and you can get in on some really cool art too for both of these shows as it will be coming up, as well as behind the scenes content on post shows. It was very interesting having a post show last week with a bunch of new people playing Dungeons & Dragons, especially in this type of setting, and getting some of their insights on their first experience at the table. It was very cool. Again, thank you guys for being here this evening. Please do follow this channel and all of the other lovely channels from our cast members that we have this evening and all other evenings here on DieFall, and we will be right back. Welcome back, everyone, to DieFall Conspiracy in the Stars. This is episode 2. The Star Swill, well, it's got a little chaotic, more so than the little divey bar is used to. An explosion has happened during the professor's presentation. And an unassuming halfling gentleman apparently is an assassin? Well, we're trying to figure that out, and we've got 2 that are on the case trying to chase down this would-be assassin. Leonardo has gone up and diffused the situation up on the stage where there was some firefight happening. Clover, it is now your turn at the top of the turn order here. You note that things inside the bar seem to be calming down. The dust is somewhat clearing. It looks like the High Elf is trying to assess the situation with a lot of these people that are down on the ground, but it does look like Kiri in the last couple turns has just made their way towards the exit here and is just yelling about Kenny. It's just yelling about Kenny and is trying to make their way for the exit here. What do you want to do?
I think Clover would be the type to just deal with whatever's closest to her. So with this situation starting to settle down, she looks towards the the Nautilid and says, "Are you all right? Are you hurt?"
I'm fine. That bastard tried to kill the professor.
I think you might be wrong there. I think it might have been someone else.
What do you mean?
Well, someone stabbed me and then ran away, so it was probably them.
Roll me a persuasion check with advantage. As you like open up and you've got like blood coming out here.
Yeah.
They're pretty worked up though. This is why I'm having you make the roll, is because they're pretty worked up about this whole thing and they're convinced about this.
Oh, that's absolutely reasonable. Oh, thank God I had advantage.
It would have been a 1, but it's at least a 17. That is definitely enough. They look kind of confused and what? Have they gone far? Can we catch them?
I think we're trying. Here, why don't you sit down?
It's okay. They're gonna like sit on the edge of the of the stage here. Their big nautilid legs just like kind of dangling off the side. Okay. Oh, and you said they were hiding. They moved over here. Okay.
Leonardo, are you okay?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking.
Okay.
Yeah. Nothing could pinch through this armor, so I'm good. I'm very I love my armor, so you know.
Tiberius is looking down at his charge on the ground, and he looks up at Clover's. You're a cleric, right?
Yes.
Could you, oh God, do me a huge favor and get this one up?
Okay. And she'll like awkwardly move over and roll up her sleeves and then just slap her hands on his cheeks and cast Cure
A little
Wounds.
cheek slap.
Yeah.
Yep.
When little pixelated flowers come out.
That's 10. That is a huge heal.
That's a chonky heal, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so, what's going on here? What's happening? Bastard Nautilid! Pulls out the repeater again to go shoot at the Nautilid captain. And Tiberius reaches out, snatches the gun away, and goes, "What's done? Stay on the ground." Kind of like shoves him up against the wall. Fine. And you? Huh. Did you just heal me? We got like pixelated flowers that are kind of like fading away from his cheeks.
Are you all right?
I'm fine. Just, got caught unawares by the explosion in the... Did you see that? Looks over at Tiberius. Kenny did that. Kenny had the button. I saw it right before it went off. I didn't think the bastard was gonna do that. He didn't say anything about it. He looks up over at you. You aren't listening to any of this, right? Clover, are you listening?
What? Sorry.
He looks up at Clover and says, "You aren't listening to any of this, right?"
She's like looking around. She's like looks very concerned over what's going on. Oh, what? Were you talking to me? What? Are you okay?
Oh, she really wasn't listening to me. Well, it was Kenny, you idiots. Go get him. I don't know what he's doing, but he had a button.
Oh, yes. I think he stabbed me.
He stabbed you, too. I didn't know the little guy had it in him. Huh.
Why do you think he would do that? Any of this?
I rightly got no idea, but we should probably get our hands on him if we're going to ask any questions, because, I mean, this wasn't part of our plan. I mean, we didn't have a plan. We were just here to listen to the professor, and Tiberius just kind of like elbows him in the side. Yeah. Where's Kiri anyway? We get this shot of Kiri like sprinting out of the bar. Kenny, you idiot! And they just start running out of the bar.
Am I in range to like ask questions here now as well, or?
Let's leave questions for after we go around the horn here and find out what's happening outside, because this is where we're gonna kind of resolve the conflict here, okay? Grim, you're outside. You think you've got eyes here, right? You think You got Kenny.
Yeah, I'm
So
like 20
you're gonna
feet
run
away.
and you're gonna try and catch up, right? Well, Kenny's running too, right? So
Yeah, I'm gonna
they're
try
fast,
and
you're
catch up
fast.
and, tackle him to the ground, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, you're closing on Kenny here. You are able to discern that yes, it is indeed Kenny. This place isn't very well populated. I mean, people are definitely out and about and they're watching this happen. You said you were trying to do this rather quietly though. That is going to slow you down.
No, I mean I said I was thinking about using stealth on my next turn, but
Okay, it is currently your next turn. Did you want to do that? It will slow
I
you
mean,
down.
it doesn't seem like anyone's around, so I don't see that. I mean, he probably knows someone's in pursuit, so I don't think I need to be stealthy right now.
Okay. Yeah, so you're gonna catch up. I'm going to need you to make me an athletics check to try and grapple.
Stupid athletics. Why can't anything be acrobatics?
You gotta be strong enough to hold on. An 11. Lucky for them, they get to make an acrobatics check to twist their arm out of your grasp and continue running away. Okay. Are you going to
my
just
cunning
keep
action to dash at him? from there?
dashing? I mean, you means you keep up, right?
Yeah, I just wanna
you don't
keep
get
up.
another chance
I just
to.
wanna
Yeah.
keep up.
So are you going to do this as long as it takes to grab him?
Yup.
Essentially. Okay. Before we get to that, Alara, what are you doing?
I see them scuffling ahead of me,
Yep.
and I decide that the only thing I can do at this point is try to take them down from a distance using my blow dart gun.
All right, we're gonna use a blow dart.
Please don't hit me
Okay.
with your blow dart.
Sure, yeah, there's a bit of a scuffle going on, but you've got relatively clear shot. You're able to get close enough at this point. So roll me blow dart.
All right. How do I just click on it?
Yep.
Okay. It's just do I need to
You
drop
click
it
the
down?
word blow dart in your attacks and spells, that box.
There we go.
That is weapon proficiency. In the
Whoops.
center of your sheet, there is a box that
Okay,
says
got it.
attacks and spells.
Got it.
They're blowgun. An 8. Grim,
Oh fuck!
roll me a dexterity saving throw.
No.
I knew it.
22. Grim, you watch as Alara comes tearing around a corner and whoof, with a blow dart, and you watch as it doesn't have enough distance to get there, but it looks like it's probably gonna hit you in the leg. So you just shift your leg out of the way and the dart goes underneath, and you just kind of
Holy shit!
Why me?
What are you doing?
I'm trying to stop him. You clearly can't do it.
Ah. Okay, now I'm being challenged.
as if to punctuate that point, Kenny has taken off again down the road. Okay.
I'll catch him.
Yeah, you're going to attempt to catch him. And I think this is the point because something happens here. As you guys tear down a couple of these side streets, Kenny all of a sudden falls over. And lies unnervingly still.
Oh no, what's he gonna do?
And
Stay
things
back!
become quiet for the moment in the street.
What the heck?
What do you want to do? Oh, we lost one. Hang on, we're gonna do cameras live. We gotta switch everyone back around. Everyone, cameras off.
Oh God.
Quick. All right, Zombies first. Then Marcel. Then Stella. And then Enola. Boom, there we go. Okay, Enola. Grim. He's on the ground. What do you want
I
to
turned
do?
into that dog character. Okay. He's on the ground. I take out my phaser. I assume I'm still in league with him, right? I'm not that far
He's
away.
on the ground. You see this happen. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what's going on. I want to take out my phaser and just try to stun him to knock. I don't know if he's. Do I need to do perception to see if he's already unconscious or?
To do that, you would have to
That's
get up
my
close enough to
turn,
make
right?
a medicine check or an investigation
Oh, heck no, I'm
check.
not getting close to him.
So you just see him on the ground 30 feet away from you. Just
Okay.
collapsed in an alley right now.
I would like to. I'm afraid he's gonna explode. I'm not gonna lie. That's why I'm afraid to get close to him.
I mean, at this point, that's not unreasonable.
I know. And I know that he's a scrawny guy that like is fidgety and I don't know, maybe he's sick. I don't know. I want to move close enough. I am going to take out my phaser and try to just shoot at him while he's on the ground, just to make sure he's stunned and unconscious.
Okay. So ranged things, when firing against prone adversaries, do fire at disadvantage. They are harder to hit because it is a smaller target, but you are able to do so. And he's not going anywhere. He's literally not moving. You can shoot as many times as you want with his phaser until it hits, if that's your plan.
Okay. And I set it to disadvantage before I click, correct?
Yeah, but like I'm just saying, you do it. Eventually, you will hit him. He does not move. As you could fire and miss or whatever. He does not move.
Okay.
And you hit with the phaser.
So if I hit with the phaser, that's just me knowing that he's unconscious because it's a stun gun. So.
The phaser does non-lethal damage. Technically, it still affects HP. You're not sure how much stun to give it, but if you give it some juice, you kind of figure you've hit him a couple times with it. He's not gonna die.
I'm just gonna use it anyway.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you hit.
How many times
Click
can
damage.
I shoot it?
He's not moving.
Click damage.
So if you click phaser in the chat where it popped up, where it says 13 and 25, that rolls damage. So it deals 5 non-lethal radiant stunning damage.
Okay.
As far as you just hit him with a phaser. That's what you know, right?
Yeah. My hope is that he's just incapacitated 100%, not just lying on the ground for no reason, because I don't know if he just collapsed and he's not okay, or if he's just making a play.
Right.
And I think that's all. You know what? I'm gonna, assuming that I've done enough to incapacitate him, I am gonna use my cunning action to move the rest of the way to his body.
Sure. I think at this point, this is where we say that the turn order is done. You guys are now off your initiative tracking list here, and you can move and act in various different forms. So I think we just find ourselves in the alley with both you and Alara now.
Yeah, I want to move
Kenny
up to
on the
Kenny
ground.
and just try to check his. I don't necessarily want. I don't know if it's his vitals or just see what's going on with him.
Sure. Right. So he's face down right now. So you want to kind of flip him over?
I want to kick him with my foot.
Okay.
A little nudge. See if
you
he
give him a
reacts.
nudge. Like with the phaser, there is no reaction.
Okay, I'm gonna roll him over.
Okay. You roll him over.
Please don't have a bomb.
He's kind of stock still, and you see that his eyes are wide and glazed over and kind of white and filmy.
Heck? Looks like he's possessed.
Good one, Brainiac.
What? I am a Brainiac, actually. Thank you very much.
We know.
What do you make of this?
Obviously, this was a distraction. We've been duped.
For what?
We've been duped.
I don't think the person exploding the bomb chasing after him to make sure that we have him is a dupe.
This guy didn't know anything. We'd have to figure out who is actually behind all of this.
What are you talking about? He's the one who blew up the bar.
He's possessed. He probably wasn't in control of his own actions.
Okay, so he's a patsy. But I'm going to grab him. Let's go back to the bar and reconvene with the others. Can we drag him back to the bar?
Sure, you can. Is that an agreement, Alara?
I guess.
Okay. And so I get that gives us a good segue to jump back over to the chaos that was the Star Swill bar. Things have quieted down. There are a line of unconscious bodies. Kiri is missing and gone. So, Clover, Leonardo, what do you guys want to do?
You guys mentioned that was not the plan. What do you mean by that? I'm asking these two over here.
I'd have to say that's none of your consents. Okay? And he's gonna like get up and dust himself off, and he looks around the room. He's like, now where the hell did those two get to? Tiberius, we gotta go. This is it's getting a little heavy in here.
Actually, it is our concerns. A room blowing up is our concerns. So I need you to talk, and I'm gonna try to persuade him, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
DM, I do have a question really quick. I just want to
What's
remind everyone I did send them the data about Tiberius and Darkstar last episode, so they have that information already, just in case they're trying to probe for it.
Sure.
Sorry, it's a persuasion, right? Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
An 8. Yeah, I think he kind of he looks you up and down behind Clover. He's like, I mean, you're hiding behind your plant girlfriend here. I don't think you got any footing for this. Tiberius, let's grab your stuff. Let's go.
All right. What do you think, Clover?
Well, I don't know what to make of this, but these other people are hurt. I think we should try to help them. And maybe someone else might have seen something that we didn't. And if we help them, they might help us.
I agree with that. Let's go try to help them out then.
Then Clover will hop down in here and basically just cast the rest of her healing spells. Try to help other people.
Okay. You note that these two are dead. They did not survive this. It looks like the two that the High Oracle was able to get to rather quickly with Leonardo. She seems rather calm next to them, and it seems like she was able to get to them in time to at least stabilize the situation. But these two here were unable to pull through.
Okay. Clover will essentially help them out of the rubble and out of the way, and then make her way over towards the Oracle after however long that takes, and look over the injuries of those that were saved.
Yeah, they seem to have been patched up with pieces of the High Oracle's dress. Some of their larger wounds have been covered, but she cautions you. The beams fell on them, and likely their bones are broken in various ways. I don't know if we should move them before or after. And at this point in time, coming into the bar is Carmen Kane, arriving with 6 Port Nomad security officers and a medic. The lights are slammed upwards, put on to full, and the absolute devastation of the firefight and the explosion are shown for everyone to see. Carmen and the medic approach the two that you have there, and now I heard that something terrible happened here, and it looks like we're able to help. And the medic gets down and starts tending to the two here. She gestures over to the two other bodies. Are they still with us?
No, they didn't make it.
Anyone else? Anyone else hurt? And we have Ember crawls out from underneath the the table and goes, I'm feeling a little, less than amoeba-like. A little rattled. Shaked, not stirred. And just kind of like goes and walks over to the medic. The Nautilid hops down from the stage there and walks over and says, I'm fine. The armor's just a little beat up. The officers move around the room to assess the situation. And I believe probably Leonardo is approached by one of them. Maybe the captain of the group of some kind. Sir, we're going to need you and the rest of your party to accompany us to Sir Heliohorus's office, please.
What for?
I believe for questioning. We are rounding up as many as we can, and we get like this shot of outside, and it looks like both Tiberius and Darkstar are being accosted by another group of these guards. Like, we need to get to the bottom of what's happened here, and Sir Heliohorus has asked for you and the other guards of the professor for questioning. Standard procedure.
Fine, I'll agree to this.
He nods.
Yeah.
And he says, I was told there should be 4 of you. Where are the... And of course, as if perfectly timed, Grim and Alara come back in, dragging one unconscious Kenny.
Oh, there they are.
Good. Well, when you're ready, we'll be outside to escort you. Please do make it quick. We'll have another medic team en route here to take care of the rest of the wounded. Honestly, all of them will be in for questioning at some point.
Clover will peek over the bar to see if Cerdin is still there.
Yeah, sure. It seems that he's sitting on the ground. He's popped open one of the bottles that are from behind the bar and is drinking it.
Excuse me.
What you want?
Did you see anything during all of the commotion?
I didn't see nothing. I stayed my head down. I'm not getting shot again.
Wait, who shot you?
Long time ago. Story for a different day.
Oh, okay. Do you think it would be helpful if you came with us with the authorities?
I'd rather not go with the authorities. And
The captain walks up behind you and says,
they will all be taken in for questioning at some point. If they come now, they can come now. If they come later, well, it's a right mess.
Okay. And Clover will gently pat him on the head where she had bonked him earlier and then just kind of slide away.
yeah, you kind of like have to reach really far because he's sitting on the ground behind the bar and he's already short for a dwarf. So you just like reach and pat, pat, pat.
Yeah.
Okay.
He looks up and he's, why is everyone doing that to me today? What is with that?
And he takes another swig of some junk that's behind the bar. Let's just go with it's like that green sparkly liquid that they were adding to all of the other liquors in the drink mixes. Who knows? Okay. So, Alara and Grim, you have come in and you're dragging this unconscious Kenny behind you. The guards outside tried to stop you, but you shook them off and you convinced them that you need to go inside with this unconscious person. So now what?
I instantly shrug him off and drop him to the floor like a wet.
Yeah, like right when you
potato.
get inside?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
disgusted by the whole situation.
Captain looks
Upset.
up and
What's this then?
I have
This
no
is-
idea. He appears possessed.
Yes.
This is the one that detonated the bomb.
And yeah, as if to illustrate that point, you hold up his right hand where like seemingly vice gripped is this button.
Oh. Well, that seems... We found our smoking gun. I appreciate your assistance.
Oh wait,
don't think this will relieve you of the questioning Horace had in mind. Excuse me, Sir Horace had in mind. Do you mind still coming down to the station with me? It would do me a lot of good.
Do we actually have a choice?
Not particularly. Not until I get other orders. And really, it should help you because...
And he leans in close to you and he goes,
The professor, and you were the guards of them, right?
Yeah.
Well, you should go see Sir Horace then.
All right, you're cryptic enough. You got my attention. Let's go.
Right, okay, let's, Team 2, wrap them up. Take them on.
so they take you and they start to escort you to Sir Horace's office. This is where we would start Act 2, the Dark Underbelly, and you would all hit level 4. Yay! You did it. Congratulations. A little investigating, a little action, a little stuff, and you are now all level 4. Now that means a couple of different things, and I think more than likely we can if you want to handle it off screen, we can in the intermittent week here. The level up won't really matter for what we're about to handle now, so I'm okay with us skipping that little portion here for you to go talk to Sir Horace and otherwise, and kind of get moving on with the next parts of the game here. But just so you know, you're level 4 now. Congratulations! Yay! Okay. You're escorted to Sir Horace's office at the security station. And it's set up in that very, like, boring office fashion where, like, you walk in and there's a front desk and it's kind of like just disappointingly tiled and it's probably like a really cheap linoleum and it's like, Jesus. It's like every other security office you've ever been in. You're taken into the back where you find yourself sitting down in a dark room, arranged around a table. Sir Horace arrives several minutes later and stands up behind a desk to interrogate you. It's gonna be a quick one, I guess. He sits down and he goes, all right then. That was a mess, if I have anything to say about it. I heard from the lads you caught Kenny, is that correct?
Yeah.
Good. That's very good, actually. So, this is really just standard procedure. I'm gonna need some information from each of you, and, hopefully it will help us with the investigation, though it does seem that we've got Kenny well in hand here, huh? Oh, maybe the investigation won't take super long. So let's start with this, then. Clover, where are you from? How'd you meet Professor Oren?
I'm from insert generic planet name here.
Sure.
It's a planet of beet farmers, you see. And I was hired by the Church of the Void, and I received a message.
The Void?
Yes.
They're not really like... You know I'm a Sepulchre Knight, right? Not really...
They're not as bad as they seem. You've probably talked to people
Right.
on their bad day. He
Uh-huh.
smiles. It's really awkward.
Yeah. Church of the Void. Interesting. How'd you get mixed up there?
Oh, funny. She kind of like lowers her voice a little and like leans in, and she's like, "You see, it was all a clerical error. I was trying to get a job as a desk clerk, and I was looking for clerical work as a desk clerk. But now I'm a cleric."
His hand goes up to his beaked face and he goes,
Oh, that's a mix-up then.
But they're very nice.
Church of the Void. Nice.
Yes.
Huh. Don't think I've ever heard that in a sentence before. Right, okay, how'd you meet the professor then?
and he has like his little data pad out and he seems to be taking notes.
Well, So I believe he reached out to the church, and well, they gave me the assignment, and it seems to have been a good match. I am a healer, both magically and not. I am quite familiar with herbs and other kinds of field dressings.
That does seem useful, but as guard duty, I guess if the professor was injured, that would prove rather useful. All right. Did you notice anyone acting suspicious at the bar before the presentation?
She kind of like sits, she looks very serious, and she thinks for a long time, like 2 or 3 minutes of silence pass, and she's like, no.
The entire time as he's sitting there, Horace is just looking around the room, just like,
No, you didn't notice anything suspicious prior to the attack.
The infrastructure of the establishment could definitely be looked at. I don't know if it's up to code.
honestly, I think the infrastructure of all of Port Nomad could be looked at. And he gestures upward, and you notice that like the ceiling tiles are also kind of rusted out.
She looks up. Oh, you should probably get that looked at.
Yes. Not a whole lot of money comes into Port Nomad. Anyway. Sure. Nothing suspicious. Alright. Do you know Kenny Flopwig?
No, I hadn't spoken to him prior to him stabbing me. Actually, I don't think I said anything. I just started crying. Yeah, so I didn't say anything to him.
He stabbed you then?
He did. She'll like
Oh.
just like show it.
Even more charges against the man then. Alright. Good. Well, I thank you for your assistance then. More than welcome to wait outside if you'd like, or you can wait with the rest of your group here. How about you? Alara, right?
Yes.
Where are you from?
I don't have a home anymore. I pretty much go where I need to go and hang out where I find myself useful or needed.
Port Nomad is a good place for that then. Though, it would help if you had somewhere that you would come from for me to make some calls here, but that's fine. Professor Oren, how'd you meet?
I got word that he was looking for somebody that had a very specific set of skills. Skills that I happen to possess. Plus, good money, whether he lived or died. So I figured I'd take it.
Yes. These days, you take 100 credits any ways you can get them, huh?
Yeah.
Alright. Is it like a public posting then?
Public posting.
Yeah. Easiest way to get jobs these days. Did you notice anyone acting suspiciously before the presentation?
The whole bar was filled with weirdos. And money-hungry fools. I don't think there was one person that wasn't suspicious in that bar besides the Nautilid.
Really? Not the Nautilid? I heard that they, leveled a cannon at Darkstar and his guard.
The Nautilid wouldn't do anything unless they felt like they were threatened or in danger. They came here and they were the most honest and peaceful person in the room.
Now, see, that is the opposite feeling I've gotten from other people, which says that they will do anything to get their hands on the technology to ensure some chance of survival for their people. And that they have had episodes of sorts ever since their sister died in a ship crash last year.
Very different
You
from
are
ill intentions.
sure about this?
Very different from ill intentions. I'm sure.
Alright. Do you know Kenny Flopwig?
I sat next to him while he slurped some soup.
What was your impression?
Weird.
You said that about everyone except for the Nautilid. Nothing else? Nothing tipped you off? Nothing that maybe said he had thought about it previously? Was the group in on it?
I will tell you this. From what I observed, using my familiar, I didn't think there was a bone in their body, nor did I think they were plotting anything of the sort. I believe that they are innocent.
Anything else you can tell me about this familiar and what you heard? Saw?
I'm sure you've heard of Thwirls, correct?
Yes, there was the one that fell from the ceiling.
I have my own. I used it to eavesdrop on their conversation earlier while I was doing some stealth work for the professor.
Well, that is convenient. All right.
Didn't have two
And-
set brain cells to rub between the two of them. And definitely
Really
weren't planning on bombing this situation.
interesting. Not planning on bombing it, and yet he is the one holding the trigger. All right. Well, I thank you for your time. Leonardo,
Yes.
where are you from?
I don't talk about my past.
All right. I can understand that. How did you meet the professor?
He hired me for some protection.
Open calling? Same thing as Alara?
I do a little gig from time to time.
Yes. Did you notice anyone acting suspiciously at the bar? Or anyone that we might be able to rule out?
Not really. Like she said, there's a whole cast of very suspicious people, I would say.
Yes. Everyone wanted something from him.
Everyone definitely did have an interest in the professor, that's for sure.
Did you know Kenny Flopwig?
Who?
The one that pulled the trigger. Leonardo? One that pulled the trigger.
Oh, the one with the spoon. That's right.
Spoon, yes.
Yeah. He was a quiet fellow, but he was the only one that was not making any noise with the soup.
That is an interesting detail. And you'd see them make a note. We get the shot over the shoulder of Sir Helio Horus's data pad that says, used spoon with soup. Okay. He goes, all right. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Grim? I believe my notes say from the professor. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Grim, where are you from?
that's classified information.
All right. How did you meet the professor? Classified information.
I was contracted.
Open casting again?
No, I was reached out to directly.
Interesting. Did you notice anyone suspicious at the bar?
Well, I can tell you that I was slurping soup with a lot of interesting characters, including someone I know for a fact is from the firm.
Is that right? Talking about Darkstar then?
Yes.
Yes. Though, I think most people think that he's retired now. Is that not correct? Or is
People
my
think a
information
lot of
old?
things.
That's... Do you think he was in on it?
If I had to hazard a guess, he's got the wits. So yeah.
Well, we were able to wrangle Darkstar, as difficult as that might have been. Seems he was rather hurt, but... seems cooperative enough. Maybe we'll be able to wring something out of him.
Maybe. He thinks
But he
he's the
didn't pull the
smartest one in
trigger.
the room. Well,
Yes.
he didn't pull the trigger. That doesn't mean that he didn't have anything to do with it or help to plant it on our dear Kenny, as Alara assumes.
Plant it on. Alara, you didn't mention this.
I figure it was a detail worth noting.
I think all the details are worth noting when you're charged the professor was almost assassinated, and we are trying to discover the person who did this and for what reason.
I don't think these people are the ones that did it. I think we're looking in the wrong directions.
Now, where would you have us look?
Obviously, we wouldn't be talking to the people in this room. We should be probably wrangling up and talking to the people out there
Out there. Who do you mean?
in the bar.
Oh, we've got them lined up. You're just the first.
His charges aren't the people that should be being interrogated currently. I really don't like dealing with the police anyways.
Understandable. These are just routine questions. Trying to put together the investigation. See if there's anything more we need to worry about for the professor's safety. You understand?
Yeah. Doesn't make it any more fun.
No, and I apologize for taking more time out of your day.
But your goal is to get paid for Professor Oren's safety. My job is to maintain the peace at Port Nomad. I think we are of a like mind then.
I'd say so.
Whatever
Now,
gets me paid.
So that detail then. What?
If Kenny looked hypnotized, which he did, his eyes were all glazed over when I found him. I didn't know what was going on. Well, I mean, his eyes were all glossy, like he wasn't in control of what he was doing.
Ah. That is curious.
Normally, well, at least from when I met him earlier, when we were slurping soup and rubbing shoulders together, he was real fidgety-like. But I don't know if it was fidgety because he was nervous about what he was going to do, or if that's just his regular personality. But the guy I was chasing after didn't seem very nervous.
This is good information, thank you. Well, I appreciate this. We will be in contact. And I assure you, I currently have Professor Oren in a secure location where he will stay until the investigation is complete.
Did you talk to the sister?
No, but we do have her. Again,
Good.
You are the first.
Oh, right. Yeah, interrogate all of them.
We will do what we can. And again, I thank you for your information. It will give us something else to push on and hopefully get some kind of confession or direction out of them. Really need to find out if, well, we need to worry about more. Professor Oren is safe for now, and I will release him. I guarantee you, regardless of the investigation, in 1 week. But
You gotta wait here a week?
Well, yes, I would request that.
I don't agree to that at all.
Where are we gonna stay?
Well, Port Nomad has some nice locations, inns to stay at.
I think if the police are requesting our assistance or that we stay in the area, they should be paying for our accommodations, no?
You got a point.
I will look into the budget
I'm not getting paid
and
enough for this job.
how about this? Continue to assist in the investigation and we'll put you up somewhere.
As long as it's got
Contracted
a
hires.
large bathtub. I like
Large
the soak.
bathtub. Okay,
Clover leans over to Alara. Someone mentioned a thwirl. Is the thwirl okay?
Snap. My thwirl's fine. But I wonder what Grim did with that thwirl.
Should I say something?
We should probably say something after this interview. I don't exactly trust these people.
Okay. Is your thwirl okay?
Yeah. He's
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Do you agree? He's offering a contracted position for the week, essentially, just to put you up somewhere, if you want to, if you would choose to assist with the investigation.
Sounds fair to me.
all right. An agreement then? All right. Again, thank you for your time, and I'm sorry that I have to request you to stay here, but this is an active investigation. Do feel free to contact me or any of the Port Nomads guard if you find anything.
You want to point me near the nearest watering hole that doesn't have debris and holes everywhere?
You're going to be wanting Grug's Den? If
Thank
it could
you.
be an even divier establishment, but they've got good drink, and you're going to want to look at the room and board. Or your room and board.
Wonderful. I like them diving.
Yeah. We'll be in contact then.
Clover's like, so you said to contact you? What's your number?
Oh my
Uh,
god.
Oh boy.
he gives you a business card, but it's space card, so it's
Oh,
really just
Very
he
space.
waves his data pad over your data pad, and his contact information shows up.
Oh yes, perfect. Okay, thank you. You know,
He
to contact
airdrops
you
it.
if we have information, of course.
I recommend
Right.
you start screening your thoughts.
Leans in and quietly says, "Don't send him selfies."
Okay, what's a selfie?
It's ancient
Okay.
technology.
Only the ancients speak of it. It comes in the old texts. Oh my gosh.
Can you tell me more
Okay.
of this ancient technology over some drinks?
Later.
Yeah.
Later, near the bathtub. I'm tired.
Whoa. We have separate rooms. At least I plan to. It's all paid for. I'm not sleeping with you guys. That's my bathtub.
Listen, nobody
You
wants to
can
get
have
in
your
your
own
bathtub.
bathtub.
Oh
She'll
my
pick up
god, a
strays.
whole week.
Sure, and I think at this point, this is a conversation that's happening as you guys
I just
Like,
want to soak my tootsie.
exit.
Yeah, we're
Right?
walking out. We're walking out.
You're
and
walking out,
trying to
and you're
figure
in
out
this
everything.
you're in this spaceport now, right? So you walk out, and I think this is the first look that we really get at Port Nomad as a whole. The dusty air of Port Nomad hits you in full force when you step outside.
Ugh.
Around you are a collection of ramshackle buildings next to more recent constructions made of steel and concrete. The streets are poorly lit and zigzag throughout the whole station instead of being built on the grid like any respectable settlement. The people on this backwater spaceport, well, they eye you with some suspicion, and others with amazement. Your presence definitely does not go unnoticed. Now, there are some locations and some things that you can visit here. The things of note, and I will have a better list for you prepared for next week, and I was trying to get with the guys over at Mage to see if they had the map completed for this, because this is all still a Kickstarter project.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, so the things of note are the Star Swirl Bar, where you have been, Grug's Den, the seedier of Port Nomad's two bars, if that could even be possible. And you have the Bazaar, so the a gathering of tents and stalls and some permanent fixtures. There's lots of goods and things there. There's the clinic as well. And there is the Room and Board, which is the inn that you were directed to, and the junkyard, if you would like to visit a junkyard. The spaceport itself and the security station, which you're at now, is the hub of all travel to and from Port Nomad. So yeah, those are the kind of larger locations that you can visit here, or you have free reign over Port Nomad for the time being.
Is that what
So-
it's called? Room and board? What's the name of it?
The inn is named the Room and Board. I am not kidding you in any way, shape, or form. You can get your room and board at Room and Board.
Is it BORED?
No. No.
Sorry. I couldn't resist
No.
because it just seemed like one of those things.
I hope it's not BORED.
Oh man.
Okay. So where do you want to go? There's another place to get a drink, and then there's another place to get your room. It is,
What
yeah.
time of day is it currently?
I'm gonna
look
say it's probably
around.
like early. Let's call it like mid-evening. So it's dark outside now,
Okay.
right? Definitely
Maybe.
dark.
I'm
It's been a long day.
famished. Food? Question mark? As I look to my companion.
I'll definitely join you for that. That sounds like a great idea.
Oh yes, I love food.
I could eat.
I could.
I guess we ought to head to that other bar.
Yes, Grug's
Lead the
Den.
way.
Grug's Den. Well, it's currently the only open watering hole at this hour, and apparently some gambling is being done here as well. This rundown establishment is located off the main thoroughfare of Port Nomad on a side street named The Valley. The building's made of concrete and steel, with an uneven roof and precariously leaning sign depicting a winking half-orc. You enter and are met with a cloud of smoke from cigarettes and cigars, space cigarettes and space cigars, right?
Feels like I'm home.
The patrons are a rowdy bunch. They all stop their activities, much like any good Western. When the doors swing open, everyone stops and stares, and then the music stops, and they stare at you. And I think that's where we're going to take our pause for the evening, because it's a good place for us to stop, and I don't want to push it too far without having anything really good for next week. So thank you guys for being here this evening. This has been DieFall, Conspiracy in the Stars, the Star Swill incident, I suppose. We're gonna go around the horn here, do some shout outs, and we're gonna call it a show. So let's start with Miss Zombie Kills. Where can the people find you on the internet?
I'm Zombie Kills, ZOMBAEKILLZ on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. You can find me there Thursday through Sunday, 7:30 p.m. Central until 10:30 p.m. Central. Hanging out, having a good old chaotic time.
Excellent. Thank you very much, and thank you for playing this evening. Mr. Marcel, where can the people find you on the internet?
You can find me on MD14. I am currently still playing Horizon Zero Dawn, having a really good time of it. So if you want to come by, if you never see the game, you want to see how the PC build of that game is, just come over on my Twitch, MD14. And thank you for having me.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And Nola, where can the people find you out on the internet?
Oh, out on the internet, I'm so many places. So you're most often probably going to find me on Twitter because I'm on it all day for my job. You can find me there at that Enola Leone, and that's also my Instagram. But if you're looking to reach out or connect, Twitter is a good one. Also on Twitch, usually on the weekends right now, twitch.tv/Enola Leone. I'm playing a lot of Dead by Daylight still. I like to play creepy things. We also do Sunday chit chat all about horror movies and horror movie themes and pop culture. And yeah, that's where you can find me. And they just announced the new Dead by Daylight chapter, so I'm excited to talk about that.
Excellent. Thank you very much, and thank you for playing tonight. Stella, where can the people find you on the internet?
Hello, I'm Stella Luna. I'm a variety streamer here on Twitch. I do things artsy fartsy and nerdy, like TTRPGs. I do various things like Cats and Catacombs, Dungeons and Doggies, cute shit. Also, I'm addicted to Final Fantasy XIV, so a bunch of my random streams have been Final Fantasy XIV. And if you play Final Fantasy XIV, we should play Final Fantasy XIV together.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Stella. Please go follow these lovely people. This has been DieFall Conspiracy in the Stars, and thank you to Mage Hand Press for sponsoring this evening's show and all of the shows that are pertaining to this conspiracy in general. Click the link there in the Twitch chat. Go support their Kickstarter, please. And thank you for being here this evening. We will see you all next week. Good night.
Bye.